And hello, everybody. How are we doing out there? It's weird when you take a week off to go pick up your son from college. It's exhausting. Driving a lot is exhausting. But hey, Walla Walla was a lot of fun. It's kind of interesting. Everybody who's watching tonight, a couple things, and I'll post this as we go. Lately, a lot of my giveaways, either in Discord or here have been kind of dice centric and player centric. Well, tonight we're going to be giving away a set of Viridian condition markers. And I will post that in the chat here shortly so you can take a look at them. As always, you can pop on over to our Discord and participate in our weekly Bring Your Dice giveaway, which I'll be posting the reset channel tonight, where you come in, roll a D1000, and see how you do. We are only missing one player tonight, Maddie or Roselle. She has a rehearsal appointment that she could not miss, so we'll be experiencing her portrait down below. One of our other players, Cesare, unfortunately his studio is having some challenges, so we only get to see his character avatar, but he is joining us tonight as Omni, as usual. We have Brandon, Shannon, and Vince all with us. So how was our week, guys? What did we do? Did we do anything strange that we don't want out in the public? Vince,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Vince is like,
I don't know if we should answer that question.
Oh, you should definitely answer
100%.
that question. So let me get the condition rings copied over. Actually, what I could do is that's the Twitter one, but that's not gonna have it. I don't know if I want to do that one. Well, I will wait until we take a break to give them away, and then I will post the link. But basically, they're really cool for you. It's kind of my way to say, hey, I hope we're all back in the studio soon. We're all sitting in our game rooms and playing again soon. Condition rings are a great way to track your system. And so far, the ones that I really love the most, I'm in the process of buying a set for myself, are the Viridian condition rings, because they already come, they have like 48 condition, like they're 48 tokens, and they have a really high like versatility of condition. So like they have lots of stuff that like is in the newer rule sets and stuff like that. Also, they're easy to read. I find some of the condition markers can be very difficult to read because the lettering or wording is the same color as the condition ring. And I know for all of you natural artists out there, maybe you enjoy painting. I don't enjoy destroying works of art, and that's what my painting looks like. So I try to avoid it whenever possible. I defer to my creative squad online. They're much better at than I am. Everything you need to know about us is in the About Us. I also included a brief synopsis of our player world as well, all the creative things that they do, like Uncanny Prose, and I'll have Shannon do hers. I have a friend of mine who's in 3 of my games who's doing his artwork. So I have a lot of just quick links down below that those are friends of the show and friends of friends of friends. And well, they all have their creative space that they like to operate in. Other than that, we have shows Monday, Tuesday, Friday. We're still meeting on Friday, right? This Friday we're meeting because what's her name is back. What's her name? Alyssa. Alyssa's back. She needed this weekend off, not next weekend. So we are probably going to play Friday, but there will be no Sunday game, as it's going to be more of a traditional 3-day weekend for a lot of people. So we will play Monday, Tuesday. We will have our Thursday one shot, so be sure to join our Discord. You will be given an opportunity to play in the Thursday one shot, and that is live on Twitch as well. I believe I'm doing a level 20 encounter before we switch back to level 5. You can join the Discord, find out all the information there. I will be posting the event information on Monday for the Thursday night one shot. And then our Friday Age of Arcanum game that we have, the Dark Sun inspired game. And then really quick, Shannon, go for it.
All right, I assume that I'm introducing some of my things.
Heck yeah.
Hey, y'all. I finally put out another episode of Ombligo del Diablo. I finally had time to sit down and edit.
Woo! Let's
Honestly,
go.
yeah. Honestly, the edit itself was not that bad. I was more having issues with Audacity and not wanting to save my labels. But our newest episode is out. I did get a little bit of feedback about wanting to tweak how the episode names are, so I'll probably go through and do those just so they're a little bit easier to determine what number episode you're on. So if you go by parts, I think it is part 25. But if you go by sessions, I guess it's session like 12. So actually, we're about halfway through. After I put out this next one, we're like halfway through the series. So it's exciting.
Nice.
That is a Mage the Ascension podcast, and you can find that basically anywhere you can find podcasts.
Nice. Cesare, what do you got going on?
First off, Shannon, I love the fire going on behind you.
I know, right?
That's a mood for sure.
You can almost see the small child rotating on the rotisserie behind her.
Just like, yeah, her shoulders just cover it. It's great.
Eat a kid one time, and that's the only thing anybody will ever know you for.
Yeah,
Eat
that's
a
what they remember
kid
you about.
one time.
Jeez. Vamps, man. So, the General Adventuring Company is a D&D 5e homebrew.
Homebrew. I heard homeboob.
Of course you did, Jason. Homebrew podcast that my friend Maddie, who plays Roselle, and I are a part of. We do lots of filming ahead of time. We've already filmed and edited 3 episodes, and we're working on a lot of BTS content as well, while also trying to juggle, touring schedules and other workloads. So we are hoping to launch the first episode very, very soon, within the next week or so.
Nice.
Actually, no, it's the 23rd, in the next 2 weeks. And then it's just trying to keep up with all the content. It's a good time.
And both Shannon and Cesare's information can be found in the About Us. Their links are not active in the below because I got to build them their own panels below. But I at least wanted to get the hot list up first so that you can copy paste those links into your browsers and it'll take you right away. Shannon's
That's awesome, Jason. Thanks.
No, absolutely. Shannon's awesome partner in crime does the Uncanny Prose. It's a channel on Twitch that I like to watch from time to time, and I've got them linked down below as well. So it's really.
Sorry, I have to interject.
Yeah,
I
go
think
for
that it is the finale of Twilight's Dawn this Tuesday or next Tuesday.
I think
this Tuesday might be Uncanny Creations.
Yeah, I
which
think
is the
next
cosplay
Tuesday is
show,
the
which is-
yeah.
But yeah, we're coming up to a close on that story, and it's exciting, but also sad.
And with that, I know Brandon, you're still launching Falcon 9 rockets, making sure that people get safely to the space station. And Vince, what do you got going on these days? Anything? Have you finished rebooting your campaign yet? Are you bringing that back? Uh-oh, can Vince not hear me? Am I deafened? Can you hear me, Vince?
No, he's just looking around to try and decide if he's bringing it back or not.
What a douche.
I feel like it's dependent on the players.
I'm just gonna kill them all and then say, "Oh, that's the end of it."
Nice.
That's the end of chapter 2.
Yep. Chapter 3 is just bringing them back and then killing them again. See how you like to be murder hoboed.
I love it.
All right, guys, write up new characters. Level 1.
Yep, level 1, baby.
Start over.
Yep. No praying at grave markers to get your XP back. Don't work that way.
Yeah, you don't get to just walk by your dead body and scoop up all your loot and be at full power again.
Every time you die, it's a new world.
All right, so with that, let's go ahead and recap. We took a break, I believe, last week because I was traveling. We were going to do a one-shot last Sunday. We were going to do a mage one-shot. I still have everything built, Shannon, so I expect that one-shot in the future. Obviously, we could add a more body count to it, but I built.
I'll need to get my sciences.
Me and Brendan spent the previous day, Saturday night, hanging out by the fire, drinking beer, and he fully educated me on the entire like technocracy and like the whole thing, and I think
Yeah,
I've
didn't educate you well because it's technocracy, but
technocracy.
Hey, that was the other thing too. All right, you just kept reading it. I was like, technocracy,
Technocracy.
technocracy.
those douchebags with the computers.
I just started calling them tech heads. I was like the tech heads, the techies.
Shannon
Like
was
Trekkies, not as cool,
so
though.
nervous about me playing my character that I gave her bubble guts, so she canceled the entire session.
Well, I mean, that is your specialty as Michelle Bublé.
Yes,
Bublé.
Michelle Bublé.
I mesmerized her with the bubble guts.
All right,
Alright.
so you have the first 5 minutes of the game to play that character. Then they die, and then you play a different character for the rest.
Yeah, I
So
play their twin
can't
brother,
say-
Michael Bublé, unrelated to the Canadian crooner.
Can't say that I didn't give you a chance to play.
Also, his nickname is also Bubbles. They're known as the Bubbles.
I thought
Bubble
his nickname
Brothers.
was Effervescence.
That's his band name.
Bring me some bubbly.
Bring me some Bublé. Right, so since we took a week off and didn't get to play Mage, because I really like to play the Professor, we are going to recap. We'll go back a couple episodes, get everybody cut up. I mean, we're not really that deep into the campaign at this point, so if a few people die, it's perfectly acceptable. No big deal.
No, big deal because I ordered a mini specifically for this character.
Oh, there's that. Yeah.
That's how you know you're gonna die.
I know.
Is
I
that was one of the
thought about that
mini
too.
orders.
and I,
Make
like,
art.
Wait,
Never make art or order a mini
Wait.
prematurely.
So,
yeah, I knew that as soon as I submitted the payment, I was like, all right, paid. Thank you, Hero Forge. My guy's gonna die.
I know. I see. Ches get this nice commission done of his character, and I'm just like, that's a damn shame, dude. I've been
No,
setting
he
up Jen,
Google
watching
searched
over him
it.
as he sleeps. He's just gonna stiletto blade into the gullet while he's wandering off in
That's
dreamland.
okay. If Gatharn dies, I've got my backup character, Travis Sebastian. He's a drowned revenant, age approximately 7 years old.
Beautiful, chef's kiss.
His dad's name is Capri.
And he's the son of Mr. Capri. So he's a Capri son.
Yep.
Guys, I think I figured out how Gtharn dies.
Well, no matter what, it's going to be naked.
Yep.
I know how
Butt
Medi's
naked.
gonna die. She's gonna keep snitching on Jin, and you know what they say: snitches get stitches. Mind your own business. If I want to
Love
look
to
at the
be
handsome man,
Please.
The party's
Roselle's
biggest
gonna poison us
BBEG is the party
all.
itself.
I know you can't see their tails, folks, but I assure you, it's just like herding cats, just like it sounds. So, where we last left off, you guys had, you had managed to fend off the lesser kraken that that taken an interest in you while you were out, on the remnants of the Maximizer, the ship that at one point had entered a rather auspicious hurricane, if that could be described that way. This hurricane, as well as this brief moment of retrospect, afforded you the opportunity to wonder if this trip was actually really worth it. Nearly penniless, devoidless of most of your equipment, trapped on a piece of wreckage that was now the primary target of a rather large squid-like creature. And off in the distance, a ship coming towards you. Fending off the creature and managing to bargain your way on to the ship. You guys had a interesting meal once on the ship where a goblin captain that goes by, well, no, where'd she go? Nope, that's Amath. That's Emil.
Really.
Yeah, but where'd she go? Why is she not in my notes? This is rude.
Medi ate her too.
She might have, but
Raylene.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Oh, you know what? I bet you I moved her off to the side because my sidebar is up. No, I didn't. How weird. OneNote will do this to me from time to time. Something that I save will suddenly disappear. That image is gone. Weird. Well, for whatever reason, Raylene's name is populated above the first mate, which was the Triton Amath, and then obviously meeting the bosun Labash, and using a bit of charm and wit to get yourselves aboard the ship. Raylene, interested in the fact that you were on the Maximizer, invited you to a meal and a chat. However, it was Gatharn who recognized another challenging or opportunity to get involved with another tribe, and Gatharn and Labash challenges were made and accepted, and the promise of a pit fight ensued later on that evening. Our team was questioned, and they offered some answers and kept some to themselves in regards to the condition of the Maximizer, its captain, where they then learned that Tharivol, the Firbolg pseudo or unofficial leader of the more prominent privateers, who is currently in the position of sponsoring the Revels, has asked Raylene to retrieve an item from Barnacle Island, a very small, simplistic atoll out in the middle of the Lucidian Sea. However, densely covered with jungle, and unfortunately, the location of said item is not actually known. It's more legend than truth. And our team, after Gatharn's success at dealing with Labash, Medi stealing a small snack in the middle of the night, Jin, Omni, making some interesting discoveries about the vessel, the way the crew operated, and the beginning to realize that there's something more to the ship and something more to the crew than just a simple vessel of privateers. You guys then got your long rest, got the information regarding what Raylene had wanted you to do. Of course, the real fun part was Medi disposing of the body and nearly getting caught in the process. That was pretty cool. However, where we last left off, all of you were set ashore of Barnacle Island. A small encampment was in the process of being built. And where we left off, all of you were standing either half in or half around the largest reptilian footprint you had ever seen. And also looking into a dense jungle that, although not a large island, it would appear that this island is heavily ensconced with jungle foliage and, well, the sounds of creatures. This place sounds busy. All around you, the sounds of the camp being put together. You can hear the waves and the familiar smell of being on a beach within a very small inlet bay of this not very large island. Looking around, what would you guys like to do?
How many days is it?
It is morning.
And they said the cave cavern was about the center of the island.
As the legend goes, Raylene had mentioned that the item can be retrieved from either a subterranean warren or it's been described as a cave.
So do we need to look for rock formations then? All right, let's go.
I mean, you were former first mate. I'm not just going to walk off.
We all follow you, Captain.
Okay. I will look to the direction. Are there any where we kind of like moored up to the beach or the bay, wherever we're in this spot? Are there cliffs nearby or mountain on it?
It's a very simple island. From coming into shore on the skiff, the ship itself is still out in the bay. As the skiff comes onto the small beach, there are no obvious mountain or cliff protrusions in any direction. It's just a solid canopy of jungle foliage just stretching on from this current vantage point. Even on the skiff coming in, you could see that the very edge of the jungle just reaches the end of the edges of the island. Whether you start from here or anywhere else, it feels like it's just a headfirst walk into the dense jungle in front of you. Go ahead and give me a survival check as you kind of ponder this, Omni.
4.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that seems to definitely define the situation for you, caves are typically in hills or mountains, and you don't remember seeing any elevation to this island when all of you came in
No,
to
but
the bay.
the sun's over there.
Yeah, it's over there.
So, you know,
Yep, that's east. Or is it west?
said it was morning time, right?
It's morning.
Yeah.
So it's north.
Not how that works. Well, I guess we're
can
just
I-
going off. Yeah. Oh, you have an idea, Medi? Perfect. Yes. Please. What's your thought?
I would like to try to figure out what left this footprint. I have a good idea, but just double checking.
I was really hoping that we were going to just ignore it and continue walking away because it is mildly terrifying, and that's not something that we want to deal with right now. But yeah, go right ahead. Which you want to investigate it a little bit?
Go over to the footprint and look down and try to figure out what left this footprint, DM.
Yeah, just give me investigation. Your background and understanding of the strange things of the world might help. But the rolls are starting off well tonight.
I'm gonna burn mine looking for a game trail.
That's 27.
Nice. That is a bit on the high end. You definitely get the gist that this print, and then looking under some other smashed undergrowth, is definitely related to a T-Rex. The odd thing is, it seems rather large in size. I mean, the understanding of the capacity and size that T-Rexes can get to, sure, they can get quite big. But the size of this thing is not only, well, obviously large, but there's also some weird kind of fleshy bits and little bits of bone that you pick up out of the print. Getting to realize that there's almost like an undead cadaver-like smell to the prints as well that only you pick up on. For some reason, you pick up on that familiar sweet scent of rotted flesh and, putrid meat that from time to time has a familiar family kind of understanding.
All right.
Excuse me.
All right.
Part of it.
First of all, I will now have advantage to track this dinosaur if anybody wants to find this dinosaur.
Very true.
But I'll just look at Omni and say, so you know what a T-Rex is? Right. So what if one was maybe dead, but not really dead?
I've had a weird dream like this before.
I'm still looking for a game trail.
I had long dark hair, and I was a half elf.
Interesting. No, that sounds
got-
familiar.
Gathar,
I got the
give
killing
me
blow on it in
a
my dream.
Gathar, give me a survival check.
21.
Ooh.
I mean, the absence of any kind of spore is definitely interesting. There's no sign of urination or defecation that these animals would typically leave behind.
Well,
And no nothing that looks like it's a commonly traversed area, like something coming in and out of the jungle to the water. That kind of game trail.
There is a definite randomness to the way it's meandering around, almost as if it's just there, like it's coiling or moving in and out of the cover of the jungle. Nothing specific or obvious.
What kind of noises do we hear?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, cool. That's a natural 20, so that is a 24.
You are definitely hearing the atypical sounds of dense jungle, bird signs, howler monkeys. You can hear the occasional insect swarm kind of chittering in and out of the canopy of the jungle itself. I'll say all of you collectively, with the exception of Omni, have been rolling pretty well while trying to figure this place out. The jungle canopy itself sits about 25, 30 feet above the surface of the island. From best guess, coming into this bay and from the skiff onto the beach, the island feels maybe roughly anywhere from 4 to 5 miles in overall surface area. So from a standpoint of an island, it's relatively small. It's just this intense coverage, this intense jungle coverage that just kind of spans the entire area. But the fact that you're hearing jungle noises feels a little bit safe for now.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. Because, yeah, if it's quiet, then it's like, it's still here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, good job on figuring out what it is. I do have some, if it's one of those dead but not dead type, I have some stuff to help against that. But I mean, the print looks really large, so regardless, I think it's something to be respected and feared, and we should probably try and avoid it.
You're right. We should respect it by killing it.
Okay. Not what I said, but
You just
Maybe.
watch as Roselle waddles over. Can we cook it? Can we cook it?
Oh, yeah. Can we eat it?
If it's already dead, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, generally dead things that have been like dead and then not dead again aren't particularly tasty.
I'm pretty sure Roselle's got enough seasonings to help with
Oh,
that.
yeah,
She
yeah,
did make me one hell of a finger pie.
Yeah, I could make. Ooh. It's like aged beef.
With garlic butter.
Well,
I start wandering into the forest
Or jungle.
or jungle. It's all the same. I walk into the trees.
Yeah, you guys watch as Jin just kind of begins to walk into the undergrowth of the jungle.
I'm marking trees as we go by.
Okay.
Omni, you were saying something?
we should go. That's a good idea, Jen. So Omni is very off of their game. T-Rex print, kind of a big deal. Not too stoked about it, but they are used to being second in command. They are used to looking to somebody else for leadership, and they're not feeling like everybody's eyes on them. They're not really sure what to do at all. They just realized that the sun was that direction. They don't know where to go. So he's just trying to get by over here, and they're appreciative of all of the help, because the feeling of letting the crew down is very much on Omni's mind, and they want to be sure to keep everybody safe after losing so many people. So we'll go in after.
Okay. So the order of the lineup, I've got Jin out front. Gatharn, you're right behind Jin. Medi and Omni kind of making up the middle. And we'll have Roselle kind of bring up the rear as the five of you begin to make your
I'll
way.
trade spots with my squish girl who
Okay.
is not physically present.
Fair enough. So you kind of usher Roselle towards the middle, and you kind of come up from the back part of the party. You guys are now kind of strung out and begin to dive deeper into this jungle.
I'm keeping an eye out for citrus fruits.
Okay. What's your passive?
14.
Okay.
Hold on, let me check. No, 12.
12.
Oh wait, perception? Yeah, perception's 14. My passive investigation's 12.
Gotcha. The minute you guys get into the very beginnings of this dense undergrowth, the sounds of the jungle are very prominent. The sun diminishes as it's more of a almost like late afternoon feel, but the humidity now begins to pick up as the moisture of the jungle colliding with the heat of the day is creating this kind of weird, kind of vapor like humidity, almost like a bluish green mist of like humid reaction is kind of coalescing around you as you begin to pass through the least dense part of the jungle, and you are now at the point where you watch as Jin comes to a stop. The jungle itself is so thick, there's no traversing this particular area.
Well, it looks like the jungle's getting really thick around here. I don't think we can walk around or
Lighter
through
bubble.
this point.
All of you come to a halt as you guys hear Jin kind of give that detail.
Does it look like something we can
How thick are the
cut
trees?
through, burn through?
Give me perception checks.
8.
Natural 1 for 2.
Okay.
This is going great, guys.
13.
15.
I haven't rolled above a 4.
Hell yeah.
12.
Well, I mean, short of using a machete, I mean, it looks passable, but it looks like it's going to be physical work to do it. Looking to the right and the left, you could tell that the area that you walked through for the first like 5 or 10 minutes was the least dense amount. But now you've hit that point where this is just undisturbed jungle. However, I'll say for you, Medi, go ahead and give me advantage on your perception.
So 4.
4.
So,
Yeah,
12.
I mean, best you could figure at this point, you don't even see the trail of that the dinosaur creature had left behind. So, I mean, either you've lost track of that trail or you dig into the foliage with machetes and make a trail of your own.
I
climbed the tree.
will use my action to summon my cutlass,
Okay.
and I'll just start hacking away at whatever obstacle we have in front of us.
Give me acrobatics or athletics.
For hacking or climbing the tree.
Acrobatics is gonna be a 25.
Spend a few minutes, and it's possible. Not going to be easy going, but it takes 2 or 3 minutes to clear a space that you can step into, and there's a little bit more room, and then it tightens up again. 2 more, 3, a few more minutes of hacking. At this point, what you feel should take a day, like maybe, every time you have to do this, it's probably going to take 2 to 3 times as long to get to your even first point that you think you might want to get to. This is thick, dense undergrowth at this point.
I have kind
I
of
climbed the tree.
a long shot question. Do I know? Because we might be dealing with an undead dinosaur. Can I think of anybody, any like necromancer in history that would do something like that? Like any name?
You can give me either history, arcana, or, well, it's kind of a blend. So either a history, arcana, or religion check. Whichever one you're better at, you can give me one of those.
I am equally good at history and arcana and have advantage because it's an undead thing.
Okay.
Solid, 24.
Yeah. The thing that concerns you about this creature is that they are notoriously used as wards or protection curses. Almost the idea that it's here means that something else that is here is not meant to be disturbed. That the idea of the fear and the veracity and the terrifying nature of an undead T-Rex is designed for the most part through necromancy, requires a great deal of energy and ability to do it. There are on occasions where certain circumstances, these things can come into existence through dark magics other than necromancy. But if you were looking to protect something and keep people away, doing it with an undead T-Rex seems to make sense to you.
I still climb the tree.
Give me athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
26.
26. The tree you're currently scaling up is about 32 feet tall. You get all the way to the top of it, and just to the point where part of the top of the tree sits out of the edge of the canopy, and you're able to kind of like, Lord of the Rings it, and look across the canopy. You can see birds and howler monkeys kind of skipping across. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
18.
18. A little bit more to the north and east of your vision, there is a series of parts of the jungle that look strange, fuzzy almost. The leaves don't look very well defined. That part of the canopy even seems slightly desiccated or rotted, and possibly even dried out. It's very strange. Otherwise, the rest of the canopy appears to be normal from within your eyesight, within your view.
I shout down that I think I know where our item lays. It's north by northeast of here. About how far?
Give me a survival check.
I think that's +4. Yeah. 30, 20.
Maybe a mile.
Okay. And from up here, it doesn't look like there's any easy pass. Like it's just dense canopy and.
From up here, yeah, definitely. I mean, because all you can see is just the jungle canopy itself.
Okay. I go back now.
You guys watch as Gatharn scales back down. Go ahead and give me another athletics and acrobatics as you come down.
They're looking up my kilt. That is 18.
18. Yeah, no problem. You scurry down rather quickly and kind of retell what you saw.
And then, so whichever is the north by northwest direction, that's what I start chopping towards.
Okay. Go ahead and give me athletics or acrobatics. See how well you do. And we can make it
I'm using both me axes.
Make it a prolonged activity.
What's that mean?
I'm going to assume you're going to continue to do it until you make headway.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, 21.
21. You guys watch as Gatharn begins to hack and clear the overgrowth in front of him. After about 20 feet of doing this, your feet splash into some fresh water. It would seem that you've stumbled upon a very thin freshwater stream that seems to be going off and down into the foliage to your right and coming from the left. Not quite the path that you want to stay on, but maybe roughly a foot width and maybe half a foot in depth. Kind of stagnant, not moving very fast, but coming from somewhere.
I taste the water.
You taste it. It's brackish. It's got a mix of almost like mossy and grassy taste to it, with a bit of briny taste to it as well.
I don't fill my water skin.
Yep.
Does it look like towards the left the trail kind of eases up? Like we can follow it upstream?
From where the water's coming from, doesn't quite seem as densely overgrown.
Okay. I let you guys know I found a possible path. There's a small stream here.
Excellent. Let's follow it.
I mean-
Let's go.
The only thing I'd be wary of is the fact that other animals.
I love it when her internet freezes on her like that. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's
Somebody
never
clip that.
flattering.
Wait,
when
it's
you're-
never,
Ours or-
it's never flattering.
Creature
Not
of
quite.
some variety might come here for water. But
Your
Oh
internet's
no.
your internet's is messing with you, Shannon.
What did Medi see out of the corner of her eyes? It's a Medusa.
are we
She
back?
sees the T-Rex.
Oh, there she is. She's back.
So you're concerned
Okay.
about other animals using it as a watering hole?
Yes, I was just saying that, just keep in mind that other animals or creatures might use it as a watering hole, but should be
And
fine.
just as Medi says that, you watch as a
Yep, there it is.
15-foot turtle, snapping turtle, just kind of meanders right in front of Gatharn. Its large, kind of like trundling form. And then after a few feet, it just kind of continues into the undergrowth and disappears.
I look back. Good news, guys. Undead T-Rex isn't interested in us.
Okay.
Yep.
Did
To
it
the
leave
left.
kind of like a trail from where it came from? Like knock down trees and plants?
Mostly it seemed to have cleared out the undergrowth.
Any
Okay.
chance in the direction where you're trying to go to?
Looking like you kind of poke your head around to look where it kind of disappeared into the foliage. You're like, it goes southwest, and you can actually see it's like 3-foot long snapper turtle tail kind of whip away and into the tall ferny like grass. It's going more of a direct center and cross away from where you're going more, like northeast. It seems to be going more like southeast as opposed to northeast.
It's like, yeah, I know to stay away from that area. I'm not going there.
I think you give
If-
giant snapping turtles a little bit more credit than they deserve.
If the turtles are that big, we don't want to see how big the T-Rexes are.
That was a turtle?
Yes.
Never seen a turtle before.
Oh, yeah. Giant snapping turtle of the genus. No, I'm just kidding.
Giant snapping turtle of the.
I've seen sea turtles before, but never a giant tortoise like that. No.
Let's keep moving.
So that wasn't a T-Rex.
No, that was not the T-Rex. But we want to get
Bad news,
out of
guys.
here
It's still
as
an
quickly
undead
as
T-Rex.
possible. Yes. Onward.
Okay. You guys continuing up the stream, or are you continuing to make your own path, Gatharn? You have two choices at this
Oh.
point.
In which direction is the stream going?
It's kind of going in your direction, but it does deviate a little bit northwest at some point, and it kind of looks like it goes a bit more northwest back towards the shoreline, as opposed towards that, like what you saw before from up in the canopy.
Okay. But if it at least gives us like a quarter mile
Yeah, it
in
saves
a
us an
similar
hour.
direction, that's a quarter mile that we don't have to hack through.
Yeah, let's try and follow the stream as long as we can before we have to head back in. Hopefully it'll save us some time.
Same thing. As I go through, I mark the trees.
Okay, you're marking the trees. It's a little bit easier to get through here. Yes, occasionally you do have to like clear some undergrowth, and this stream at some point even gets to the point of like a basic trickle until it opens up again, and it's definitely taking you more of a northwest. And then after about 20 minutes of following this, all of you hear a heavy kind of crunching noise, like something is shifting or moving. And then you hear like this almost like sucking like sound, this like water and mud sound being kind of like boiled and then sucked down. And then quiet. Very quiet. And then you hear the jungle come back to life.
From which direction was that sound coming from?
Off to your right, maybe 100 feet or so into the density of the jungle.
We're not going that way.
Let's be very quiet. We'll stealth away.
Lemons and limes, lemons and limes. I like to watch for lemons and limes, lemons and what?
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
No, you can't tell me what to do. You're not the captain.
Shut.
Lemons and
Jen,
limes,
Jen,
lemons
shut up.
and okay.
Jen, thank you.
No, keep singing.
No,
Lemons and limes,
no.
lemons and limes.
Shut up.
All right, we have to establish a new chain of
I'm
command.
going left.
All right. So first off, we need to just figure out who here is going to keep eyes on a swivel. Who has the best awareness and perception? Because we need to be aware if something is going to be sneaking up behind us.
Limes.
I can stealth ahead of us pretty well to make sure that the path is clear. What about you guys? Stay in the middle?
I can chop through underbrush pretty good.
Technically, you just duck.
Yeah.
Fair. All right, I'll go ahead stealthily and see what we can see.
Okay. So, Omni, they are moving a little bit more forward than everybody else, taking over the lead from Gatharn, because Gatharn, you had taken over for Jen. How far ahead of the group are you trying to get to, Omni?
Depending on how dense the brush is, I want to be able to like stay in sight.
Okay. I mean, it's probably going to afford you the opportunity to about be 15, 20 feet in front of everybody else.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and give me a stealth check really quick.
Okay. Awesome. Rolled a 2. That's a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, this
And
is great, guys.
who's following up behind Omni? Are you still there, Gatharn? Kind of trying to keep an eye on them?
All
Yeah,
right,
I'd
so
probably
be
muscle
sure
my way
that you
in
get down
between.
really low, and then you're just going to sneak. All right, you have to do the sneaking motions, and make sure not to hit any of these rustled leaves. All right, you guys are doing great. This is awesome. Nobody's gonna know that we're coming. This is fine.
And he's like, if we were in a city, it'd be way more quiet.
Omni, as you traverse up this path a little bit further, your hand kind of rests against one of the palm trees, and you're kind of making your way up a slight embankment and over to follow the stream that's now suddenly beginning to trickle a little further down. Gatharn, go ahead and give me a perception check. Yes, Medi.
His hand rested on it because
Yeah, no. I
palm
don't want
tree?
to. I don't want to lose my hand. I don't want to lose my hand. Don't bring it up.
no. It's
22.
it's a palm tree. Get it?
Oh, I see what you
oh,
did there.
Gotcha.
I see what you did there.
22.
22.
Okay.
Off to Omni's left, you see a faint kind of glistening, kind of hard to know what it is, and then it kind of shifts and moves and disappears up into the tree. Omni,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
burn magic awareness.
Okay. You burn that really quick.
Anything within 60 feet that's magical.
nothing comes up on your radar. Omni, go ahead and give me a deck save, please.
$15.
15. As you kind of pull your hand away in the sticky morass, you kind of look down, and in between your feet, you watch as this huge bulbous eyelid kind of folds open, and then off to your left, you see another one. And then you watch as the ground opens up and a familiar kind of slurping sound. For those of you watching where Omni is, he's just gone. You just feel mud and slime and a tongue begin to coil around your chest and your neck, instantly gagging you. Take 29 points of force damage, please.
Oh,
Balls.
He said,
I
I
take
like
rope-
Vince's
I take
idea
my
of just
rope.
killing everybody and ending the campaign quick.
jeez.
I take my rope, tie it around my waist, and I throw it to those two.
Okay, so give me sleight of hand first.
Wow. Okay.
I think that's +4. No, +3.
Man, I miss not
So
being a monk.
18.
18. Jin, suddenly a rope is thrown at you. Go ahead and give me a deck save so you can grab it really quick.
Oh, deck save. Oh boy. 6.
6. You watch as the rope falls at Jin's feet. What are you doing, Gatharn, after throwing the rope?
I didn't even look back. Basically, I threw him the rope after I tied it around my waist and
Okay.
jumped.
Okay, shoop. Go ahead and give me acrobatics, please.
That is a 15.
15. You watch as the mud boils up over the creature and Omni's dragged down under with it. You fail to see a boulder kind of fall over from the stream bed. You then watch as the boulder lands right next to you as you try to dive into the mud. Your head smacking off the side of the boulder as you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage, and you're now lying face up on the mud.
Well, that didn't work out.
Medi?
Do I see the thing before it disappears? Let's establish that.
Give me a perception check. We'll see if you noticed anything that maybe Omni noticed.
Natural 20, 22?
You do remember seeing something glistening and something kind of burbling up out of the mud quickly just before Omni disappeared.
Right. I am going to, because I saw it, use my blood maledict, blood curse of the marked, to try to track where that thing's going.
Okay. I'll say you move forward past Jin really quick. Roselle and Jin are right behind you. You kind of looking around. It's maybe only a couple feet underneath the surface. You could feel it kind of undulating there, and the form of Gatharn lying on his back, looking up with this massive swollen, bruise on his face from accidentally hitting the rock before he could get into the mud.
Better move. I'll cast Hex on it.
Okay, it's right underneath you. You can feel its energy right below you.
Counterspell.
That's such a wrong game, bro.
Wolfric?
Wrong, yeah,
No,
Wolfric.
My bad.
What are you doing?
Well, Medi's trying to yuck my yums with the Omni, so.
And I'll
eh,
parts it on ability checks for strength.
Oh, Maddie.
I get back up and untie the rope from my waist.
Okay, you kind of stand up, tie it back around your waist. Jen and Roselle are standing there. Medi, what are you doing at this point? It's just burbling mud, just kind of under all your feet at this point.
Can I tell roughly how deep it is beneath me?
Yeah, I mean, it just, not that you specialize in tremor sense, but you get the feeling this is a predator that just sits underneath the very surface of this jungle, like muddy surface. Definitely not very deep.
Okay. Is it within stabbing distance?
Tell me.
All right. I will try it because I don't really want Omni to suffocate, and everybody seems to be really chill with this. So I'm just gonna stab down
Okay.
towards
I'm dazed,
the thing.
not chill.
Give me an
Finn's
And I
attack.
don't
playing
have
rock, paper,
stabbing
scissors
weapons.
with
I've got
Ruzel.
axes.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
I'm sorry, what is it called? Parchment boulder shears with Ruzel.
It's a 22.
22. You feel something kind of like jab into it, and then you are like, and then you just suddenly the ground underneath your feet erupts. I need everybody to make dex saves. You are no longer in the mouth of this creature, and then after you make dex saves, we need to roll for initiative, please. And can someone roll for Roselle for me, please?
You say Omni is no longer in the mouth of it?
Yeah, you've been spat out.
Oh, wonderful. Yay.
13.
I
15?
rolled for Roselle, and it was a 7 plus whatever she adds.
Gotcha. Okay. So Gatharn, you are knocked prone. Roselle is knocked prone. Jin and Medi, what do you have?
16.
Dex save?
Yeah,
Bitch, I just got back up.
24.
24. So everybody is knocked prone with the exception of Medi, as you are tossed off to the side as the largest frog toad-like creature you ever see just kind of breaks out from underneath the mud. You could see a flailing Omni get spat out. Go ahead and roll for damage for me, please. On that strike.
Do I make a dex save for a landing or?
Not yet. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
You're still in the air.
Yeah, you're
I'm still
You're about to make death saving throws in a minute, bud.
right. Jeez.
Savage attacker, and am happy about this fact because max damage, so 12 plus is plus 22.
22. Nice. And that is
Good
what
thing
I.
she ate.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. So let me set up the board really quick.
All right, initiative
Yeah, go ahead and roll for initiative for me.
6.
17.
I'm actually gonna use
Get
16.
my crummy
Send me
rolls
a
out of the
booklet.
way right now.
use
24.
That one for that. I'm gonna use.
You know, I thought that was going to be the case for me too, but 17 is the highest so far, and it's only for an initiative roll.
It's it's starting to look up though.
Yeah,
Because
we're
you were
getting there,
rolling
we're
like
getting
friggin' 1s and 2s.
there. Yep. Should be good.
Just set up the last two figures here really quick. I mean, they're not precisely you guys, but been having some fun with the
No, I will riot.
I will riot.
Mine will be here on
Boys
Wednesday.
hit the floor.
Already? Dang.
All right, so I've got Roselle.
You can
I've
send
got
him your
Gatharn.
digital.
Yeah, you can. If you send me that, I could. I know that Tailspire is going to be giving us a way to integrate figures a little bit more easily, as they say.
Who's they?
They, them.
Omni?
They.
Oh, big lemons and lime corp.
Lemons and Lime Corp. Yeah, that's it. All right, there we go. Go ahead and get that, and make sure you guys can see this all okay. Otherwise, I can switch to the battle screen, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can make it so you guys can see that a little bit better. You guys see that okay?
Oh yeah,
Okay, good.
that's cool.
So, as Omni, you're cast off slightly to the right. You are Rozelle's in the back. You are back over here. You are everybody is currently prone with the exception of
Omni flying through the air.
well, Omni, you're automatically prone, but give me a dex save
Okay.
to see if you avoid damage.
Yeah, that's a 23.
Nice. Yeah, you do a semi-decent hero's landing. Feeling some cracked ribs and contusions from being tossed off to the side. But all of you are now standing as this massive frog kind of just explodes out from underneath the mud-like surface of the area. So, initiative. Who got 25 through 20?
24.
24 for Jin. 15 through 19.
17.
16.
17 for Omni. 16 for Medi. Gatharn, what'd you get? 6. And by default, I'm going to put Rozelle last because I don't know how to run her character. I will try to keep
She
her from.
feeds us.
I will try to keep her from dying.
She inspires us with her food.
And don't forget, folks, if you're out there watching, I'm giving away condition rings tonight, but you have to put exclamation rings in the chat. So don't forget to put exclamation rings in the chat for a chance to win the Viridian condition markers.
Playing inspiring music. She's like, here, eat this cupcake.
Speaking of that, we need to put on our battle music. We'll see how many people die tonight. Everybody dies. It's funny when you spend a whole week not doing this and you're like, oh yeah, normally I have this all prepped and ready to go. And you know what? I didn't. I was a sad sack for sure. I apologize for that. Back here.
But does Hero Forge have like the whole digital copy too?
They're working on it. Yeah.
File.
Yeah, you can buy a digital copy from Hero Forge, and I believe Tailspire is trying to create a method for you to then import that file into Tailspire, and that way you can, basically build whatever kind of minis you want to build. So there is still some work. I mean, technically this is for Tailspire, it's still technically early access, but it's so cool. I mean, I could even bring you guys in a little bit closer. Give you a little bit more of a perspective point of view at this point. And and I now have like 50 to 100 of these built so that if there's ever a point where you guys make a choice or a random, encounter happens like this, I don't have to build a table option. I can save all my battle cams for like big boss fights and like major fights that could take a while. But this is a great way to
Awesome.
Well, it's a great way to give you that little bit of visual help because I know me and Shannon talk about it all the time. I mean, playing online's not easy. And
Just wait till it's all in VR.
Well, if you're watching Critical Role, you'll see one of the ad spots for the Oculus game that they have coming out, and that looks freaking amazeballs for sure. Absolutely amazing.
But can you bum Mountain Dew and Cheetos through virtual reality?
Yeah, I do.
Practice.
I'm gonna go
Practice
into like
enough.
my virtual reality DM's freaking kitchen. Can I have some Cheetos? Can I have a Mountain Dew?
Just map it out to your place so it's all there in like AR.
Oh my god, that's
his
hysterical.
kitchen's actually in my bathroom. It's like, oh no, that's not Cheetos, that's the toilet paper.
So surprisingly, Jin, you are up, and then the creature is on deck. What would you like to do?
Oh, stand up, please.
Okay, half your movement. You're now standing. You're about less than 10 feet from the creature. You were knocked backwards as it kind of emerged from underneath the surface.
I'll do
And for reference purposes, I will always make sure I'll do a better job of doing this. Because I don't have precise minis, the highlighted mini is the active mini. So that's you, Jen, right there.
Okay, cool. I will bonus action summon a tentacle of the deep. So a spectral tentacle appears close by to the creature,
Nice.
and it will swing on him. I give him a little slap.
I forbid it.
No, please. It's a core trait.
So you don't have to move in base with it. It's just the tentacle appears next to him and then makes a melee strike,
within
right?
30 feet, I can summon it
Gotcha.
close by.
Go for it.
Slap you. Let me see. Where's the damage at? Oh, I guess I should hit first. Oh, it's a that one.
You watch as the tendril like appears. The frog looks at it and then immediately tries to eat it as the tendril appears as a reaction to it. So you definitely got it to react, but it's
not food. It's
and the tendril just kind of dissipates across the creature as the interaction between the two just kind of juxtaposes the tendril, and the tendril just comes apart.
I mean, okay. On guard, and I'll step in the base with it and swing twice.
Okay, go for it.
First one's gonna be a 26.
That'll definitely hit. Go for it.
And the second one is a nat 20.
Yeah, and as always, times 2 or twice the dice. It's your choice.
Alrighty. Curse this bouncy tray. First one is 14.
14
Damage.
points of damage.
I will double. Woohoo. For 11 points of damage. For the second
Nice. I like how your first one did more than the crit.
one. Yeah. The first one I rolled a 7. The second one I rolled a 2.
The random chaos of the number generator dice, right? That's always fun.
Yes.
Anything else you want to do?
No, that'll be it. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
That'll finish your turn. The creature, you immediately get in contact with it. Its massive bulbous head turned towards you. You watch as the mouth just opens up in front of you. You watch as the tongue inside of it coils up and kind of lashes out at you. It's going to be a 22 to hit.
I'd like to use impeccable footwork.
Okay. What does that do?
Years of training dedicated to dueling has made you an elusive combatant. At the cost of your reaction, impose disadvantage against one opponent you can see.
Okay, so the lower of 2 dice.
Yes.
That's a 14.
14 does not hit.
Okay. You guys watch this really cool, fancy ballet footwork that Jin kind of uses as this massive elastic tongue just goes swinging right by him and then back into the creature's mouth. It then kind of like, you hear it make like a burping, croaking sound, and this gas just puffs out of its mouth. Go ahead and give me a con save, please.
The whole time he's singing Lemons and Limes.
Lemons and limes, lemons and limes. Ooh, not good. 11.
11, you are blinded. You can see nothing for the next minute.
You got. Okay.
All right. That will finish the creature's turn. It's going to stay put. I believe, Omni, you are up, and then Medi, you're on deck.
All right. We don't like this at all. So we are going to first off cast Firebolt.
Okay.
So that would be a 21 to hit.
21 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
12 points of fire damage.
Nice. And there's like this weird kind of sickening, kind of like cooked meat. Go ahead and give it an extra D4, please.
D4. Roll it. That's 4 points more.
Nice. And you can tell it hurt. It just see a big chunk of its flesh just sear away, and meat and kind of bone kind of protruding through the wound. Get the feeling that this thing does not like fire.
We'll just say, don't like being a meal, and kind of shake off the mud and the bile and the grime and the spit that's all on us.
Oh yeah, you're covered in mud, slime, and yeah, it's gross. It's disgusting.
And then,
Smelly too. There's a weird kind of rotted smell to it.
yeah, I think that'll be it for now. As far as movement, am I out of base with
Yeah,
it?
you are currently not in base with it. You're right there.
Okay. We'll back up like 10 feet.
Yeah.
And to the left a little bit, so kind of splitting between Oh yeah, let's get behind it. I like that. There you go.
Right there? Okay.
Yeah.
And Medi, you are up, and then Gutharn, you're on deck.
All right. Well, I don't really like this frog situation that we have going on here. I'm going to take a leaf out of Omni's book and use my action to cast Green Flame Blade
Okay.
and attempt to stab it.
Go for it. So you're moving into base with it? All right.
That's a 16 hit.
16 just misses as you feel the blade kind of like bounce off the rubbery hide of the creature. I love that face. Anything else you want to do?
Nope.
Okay, that'll finish your turn. Gutharn, you are up, and then Roselle is on deck. Omni, are you going to run Roselle's attacks for me? You should have access to the character through the campaign link.
Sure.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, let me pull that up.
I pop up.
Yep, half your movement. You're standing up. You're about 10 feet away from it.
I disrobe.
You are now naked, Gutharn.
Naked. I will rage.
Okay, bonus action rage.
That's a 6. Oh wait, no, that's a 9. 9.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 9. Let me pull up your. For people out there wondering, I have a custom wild magic table that I use for Gutharn's character. Let me pull up your. Ooh, the 9. Yes, I love this one. I need everybody to make Constitution saves, please, including yourself, Gutharn.
25.
Okay.
24.
Yeah.
Okay.
25.
Dirty 20.
All right.
Omni got a 7,
Okay.
and Brazil got a 14.
Okay. Jin, what'd you get? 20? 24?
24.
24. So you guys watch as Gutharn casts off his clothing. Naked Gutharn goes charging into the frog, and there's this pulse of blue light that bubbles out and just crashes through all of you. All of you just received an equal number of temporary hit points based on the Constitution save you just rolled.
Sweet. I got 25 temp hit points. You're welcome.
Yeah, I got to tell you, them 1s and 2s and those 11 and 12s aren't coming up. I mean, you're pretty lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Next time I rage, it'll be against something really bad. And you know what it'll be? 1, 2, 11, 12. Something.
That's funny.
All right. So that's all that rage that does, right? It's only the one time?
Correct. That's all that one did.
All right. And I'm going to smack him twice.
Go for it.
I am not gonna smack him twice. Natural 1 and 7 plus 5.
12.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys watch as Naked Gatharn, his axe just tearing into this creature, but just bouncing and ricocheting off the rubbery hide of this creature. He is struggling to get at it.
I realized I had my axes around backwards, and I flip them back.
Just look over at him like, same.
His little willy's kind of dangling there as he's fighting. Hey, shared experience. Thanks for giving us a raid, man. Really appreciate it.
And that's because that's my bonus action, free action, movement action, and attack. So that's it for me.
And hey, shared experience. And don't forget while you're here, exclamation rings to enter the giveaway while you guys are here. And check it out. We're currently getting eaten by frogs. And, giant frogs are always fun.
We should have taken our chance with that snapping turtle.
Oh, yeah. An armored snapping turtle. That would have gone really well.
We could have killed it from the inside.
Just kick him over.
Gamra. So anything else you want to do, Gathard?
No, that's all
Okay.
my stuff.
Omni, what would Roselle like to do? Roselle is on deck. Let me highlight their mini really quick. This is the only goblin mini that I kind of feel somewhat okay using. She's roughly about 10 feet away from the creature. She too was knocked back and away from it when it came out of, the ground beneath your feet.
You're doing great, guys. And Jin, you know what? You look fantastic today. I don't know if anyone's told you that, but maybe it's the sweat, the glisten on your forehead. I don't know, something just about you. And as a bonus action, we'll give Jin Bardic Inspiration.
Okay, nice.
As she's giving me that pep talk, I just scream out, "I can't see! I can't see!"
That's why you now have a 1d8 to hopefully help with your disadvantage on attack rolls or saving throws.
I can't see! Will this last forever? Some of it got in my mouth.
What else would Roselle like to do?
Other than that, scrolling viciously through the spell list to see if things are actions or bonus actions.
Yeah, I know. That's always the fun part.
So she will then look over to the frog and be like, I can make some tasty frog legs out of you, buddy. And vicious mockery. So I need a wisdom save of 15.
Oh,
BC
it's
15.
not a particularly wise creature. I rolled a 12.
So they will take 3 points of psychic damage.
Unfortunately, it does not have its reaction, or else Roselle would be in trouble. Its eyes kind of blink and dilate in her direction, confused at why the torment of vocabulary is so harsh, although it has no idea what vocabulary is, but finds the mocking quite vicious.
And she'll back up out of the way and get behind a tree for some cover.
Okay.
She's squishy.
Put her back there. All right. That
Yeah,
brings
I don't
us...
know if Maddie maxed out her hit points or not. Because there's no way she's that low.
She may not have. We can retcon that with her when she comes back from break.
Yeah.
I'll finish round 1. We're top of round 2. Jin, you are up, and then the creature is on deck.
You may have taken my eyes, foul beast. But I can still smell. Gatharn, is that you? And I'll take 2 swings at the monster.
Okay, go for it. Disadvantage, please,
Yes.
because you are blind.
One of those was a nat 20, but the other one was a 13.
Okay.
That'll miss.
Like one of the most painful things is to roll a natural 20 and it's
And not have it
disadvantage.
count.
I
I
know,
will use my
right?
inspiration. And I will continue to miss.
For those of you near the creature and near where Jin is just blindly flailing at this creature, there's a weird kind of like acidic mucus beginning to bubble around the edges of her eyes. So because you made the initial failed save, at the end of this turn, take 4 points of necrotic damage, please, Jin. And you are continued to be blind as there's no additional saves.
Oh, is my tentacle gone because of the nat one?
No, it's still there. It just passed through it, the creature harmlessly, and then reformed nearby. So it can get it because that's a bonus action attack, right?
Right.
It's almost like spiritual weapon for your character.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Almost. Nasty little spirit. Also with disadvantage, because I guess I have to see where
You
it's
have to
going,
guide it and be able to guide the
Yeah.
attack. So yeah, it would have disadvantage as well.
Oh, not too bad. The lowest one is going to be a dirty 20.
That'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. And what kind of damage is it? Force damage or
Oh, damage.
okay?
Oh, max damage, 13 points.
13 points. Nice.
So not complete waste. I did a little
You
something.
guys watch as Jin's harmlessly flailing and the weapon's bouncing off the hide of the creature. Off to the side, the tentacles kind of cracks the creature across the face. Anything else you want to do, Jen?
No, that'll be it. And if it decides to move, it's 10 feet slower.
Okay, that's right. It's got the effect. All right. With that, the creature is going to go next and focus in on Gatharn. Gatharn, you weren't reckless, right? Just regular attacks?
Just regular.
Okay.
Yep.
It's going to open its mouth in front of you and attempt to chomp on you. That is
I
going
jump in.
Do you want to jump in?
Oh yeah, I jump in.
So that's your reaction is to jump into it. Now give me a dex save to avoid the tongue. I'm going to just let that one, because it would have hit you otherwise.
30-20.
30-20. You managed to avoid getting gripped by the tongue, and you're now like waist deep into its like lower, like bulging mass. And you could feel like this, like growing, like croaking, like pressurized sound forming around you. And then you smell this weird gas coming at you. Give me a con save, please.
18 plus 7.
25. You feel the gas kind of wave over you. You quickly close your eyes and the gas dissipates within its mouth. You are considered restrained in its mouth, but yeah, you don't take any damage and you were not affected by its breath weapon. That will finish the creature's turn. That brings us to Omni, and then Medi, you're on deck.
All right. Now that we kind of have team members on both sides, we'll run up behind and attack it with our short sword. And we will cast, let's see, Green Flame Blade.
Go for it.
See. Yep, nope, that's a rolled a 2, so that's a 9 to hit. Cool. Yeah, well, in that case, as a bonus action, I'll use.
I mean, isn't it great how it sounds so good in your head until you roll?
It does until I roll and try something. D&D Beyond always screws me. I'll use Channel Divinity and as a bonus action, use Temptress Magic. So I can cause a gust of air to surround me before or after I cast a spell.
Okay.
Oh, wait, nope, just kidding. Of first level or higher. Let me double check what that spell is. That's a possibility. Green Flame Blade is a cantrip. It is not a spell of first level. So that will not work. Never mind. I will do nothing. That's it.
Yikes! I know it always sounds awesome as you plan it out. There's no doubt about that. Medi, you are up, and then Gathard, you're on deck.
All right. Well, I was going to save some of this stuff because there's still a T-Rex out there, but we've all been flailing miserably, pathetically against this frog. So I'll go ahead and use
Frickin'
my.
frog.
I know, right? I'll go ahead and use my blood maledict, especially because I have ridiculous extra hit points.
Thanks,
I'll take
Fontasha, for the
3
follow.
points
Appreciate it.
of damage. 3. All right, and let's attempt to stab a frog, shall we? With a bunch of extra dice.
Go for it. Well, I mean, you did your fair bit of flailing the last round too, so I totally
Yes,
get that.
I said a small. I did not remove myself from that. Thank you very
It's
much.
too bad you don't have like a 6th party member that's like small and childlike that could sneak up to it.
Shut up. You eat one, kid. You eat one, kid. All right.
Well, I dipped in the frog's mouth. I figured I was safer.
See, if I was a different character, I would have been like, Omni, no! After Jin got blinded. Did you see what would happen? But
I feel like
okay.
Jason created that boy being like, this is going to be great. They'll have a little sidekick. He'll help him out. He'll be a great NPC.
Shut up.
I mean,
Shut up. 18.
18 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Wait.
Oh, you know me.
Oh.
You know me, Cesare. You gotta be very cautious about what I put in my games.
Oh, I know. Everything that's said or any particular thing that's placed anywhere has got a very purposeful life
Okay.
ahead of it. not.
Hang on. I need another.
Can we just say those tiles look like really delicious brownies?
Don't they though?
Like I want a brownie now.
Here to the Skylax
Do
truck,
they do
shall
it, brownies?
we?
Brownies?
Are you asking your girl
He
for
straight
brownies?
turns up and says, "Babe, do we
Hey,
have
babe, we got
brownies
brownies.
24 points of damage on the first hit.
Oh,
Hey.
nice.
So
And
happy
let's
for you,
hit
Shannon, but
this
there's no
again.
brownies here.
I'm sorry. The natural 20.
Nice. Times 2 or twice the dice. Your call.
All right. Oh, let's go twice the dice. Well, no. Let's Savage Attacker. Let's see what happens. Because that was garbage. All right. Good God. Okay, so twice the dice. Because Savage Attacker made that worse. So not great. But better this time.
There's those dominant math skills coming into play.
29.
29.
Is this
Gathard.
supposed to frog regurgitate me?
I mean, Gathard, at this point, you feel these 2 massive blade strikes just crash into the side of the creature. You watch as one of the blades pierces its eye, comes through the upper part of its skull, and the blade kind of finishes like directly in front of you. And you kind of like step.
Oi, I'm in here.
And as you step away from it, you watch as another one equally just skewer right into it. Another eye popping. Ooze is now forming as the frog just collapses to the ground. Its tongue lolls out. You guys watch as Gatharn's form is like under a blanket, like trying to push and get the frog's mouth open, and he's kind of like yelling from the inside of it. You watch as the frog just kind of collapses, and then you begin to feel off to your right, off to your left, just behind the frog, as another set of eyes protrude, and then another set, and another set, and another set, as this entire squelchy, muddy area, dozens of eyes are beginning to pop through the surface. Nothing's broken through yet, but you've definitely gotten some creatures' attentions.
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Jen is still blind.
Well,
It's fine. Leave him.
We can
He'll
figure that out.
slow him down.
As long
I'm
as
just
you
playing
run
Jen.
faster than the slowest person, the zombies will not
Exactly.
eat you.
Hello?
Pop out the frog's mouth.
Walk away quietly. Just back away. He can't see us. No, I'm just
So,
kidding.
I'm
who's
now out of the
talking?
frog, right?
Yeah, you like kind of like pull yourself out, and all of you are standing there to see all these eyes begin to like protrude up. Everybody, give me quick perception checks as you're kind of like looking at all this.
15.
14.
10.
13 for me, and perception is a +9 for Rizzo. 24 for Rizzo.
You guys begin to watch. The eyes are more fixated on the corpse of the other frog.
Easy meal.
And there is a steady
for-
flow of
right.
like yellow greenish, like guts and blood, like coming from the wounds that Medi had given the creature.
Omni's gonna
Hearing,
get away from the other
Omni.
eyes,
Okay.
and away from the body.
I'm grabbing my
Been still
gear.
swinging where the frog should be.
hearing Omni joke
Just like-
about leaving him behind, I'm just gonna put a hand on Jin's shoulder and like pull him back.
What direction are you guys attempting to stumble off into?
Away from the frogs.
Okay, they're kind of a little bit everywhere. Any direction you run, you'll be trying to avoid them. So, as
North.
so as a group, everybody give me deck saves, please. Make sure you can avoid making contact with them.
I guess I'm
16.
at disadvantage, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll say a regular roll because Medi is guiding you. So normally she would give you advantage. So I'll say you get a regular roll.
I got 19, and Rizzo got 22.
Okay.
16 for me.
Okay. Medi.
Excuse me, sorry. I also got a 22.
Okay. You guys stumble for the next 100.
13.
Yeah. You guys stumble for the next like 50 or 60 feet or four. Medi, you guiding Jin and keeping him moving. You watch as he stumbles to the ground, like right into the mud as he trips over one of the eyes that is protruded. You watch as a fresh frog kind of burbles to the surface, and once again will operate off the same initiative as it attempts to attack. Jin, being where you are, though, I'll say that you can go ahead first on a fresh round, and we'll keep the same initiative as you guys are trying to get out of this field of these frogs. So, Jin, you are up, and then the creature is on deck. And you're still
blinded?
blind. You're still blinded.
All right.
I'll say you'll be blind for 2 more rounds from within this initiative. Because that did consume a little bit of time trying to flee the creatures.
Okay.
Man, I'm gonna have to rage again.
Yeah, I guess I'll just slash downwards.
Let me bring Gatharn back into the picture.
First strike is a 17.
Jin, you are right there.
And the second one misses.
17 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
12 points of damage.
Nice. All right. Anything else you want to do?
Nope, that'll be my turn.
Okay. The creature is going to attack you since you did strike it. That's going to be an 18.
18, I believe. 18 hits.
Okay. I need a deck save, please.
Highly dexterous.
Disadvantage, though, correct? Because you're still blinded?
11.
11. You guys watch as the tongue comes out, wraps around Jin, doing 26 points of force damage, and she
Not having a good time. Not
and
having a
Jin
good time.
is then pulled into the mouth of the creature. Because you failed that save, you are considered restrained.
Okay.
So you're blind and restrained and inside of a mouth of a creature. And because you're still blind, take another 2 points of necrotic damage from the mucus-like film that's attached to your face.
Painted inside a creature. That sounds like my weekend.
Oh, come on, man. She's right behind you, bro.
Sorry, baby. Please bring me brownies.
You're so wrong. That will finish the creature's turn. Omni, you are up, and then Medi, you're on deck. You are all considered in base with the creature since it kind of erupted as you were running past it.
All right. We're gonna try this again. We're gonna try and hit it with our short sword and cast Green Flame Blade.
Sorry, this is you, Jin, over here. I got that confused. Omni, this is you right there.
All right. So. Ten.
Yeah, that blade just off that rubbery hide, not penetrating and getting into it.
This pathetic short sword. God, I wish I had my rapier. That's it.
That'll finish Omni's turn. Medi, you are up, and then Gatharn is on deck.
Bonus action, move my hex from last guy to this guy. Look down at my short sword. Try not to doubt myself after what Omni just said, and attempt to stab this.
Go
individual.
for it.
19.
19 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Doing a much better job than me, Medi. Keep it up.
Where was that roll on the crit?
Nice.
26 points of damage on the first hit.
That is nice.
Next hit is a dirty 20.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. Oh, yeah. By the way, Shannon's doing heavy math tonight.
She's using all the click-clack math rocks.
Oh, yeah. I heard her shoes come off, too.
21.
Too bad she only has 2 toes. At least that's what Dan says. I don't know if it's true or not. You know, Dan's a little bit weird about that kind of information.
21 points of damage on the second stab.
Her entire foot is just a toe.
Yeah, just one joint toe.
Mm-hmm. You got right toe and left toe.
Anything else you want to do, Maddie? I mean, these swings, boom, boom, dig into it, meat and blood spraying out behind the creature. You definitely got its attention, and it looks a little bit rough from your strike.
Part of that damage is lightning, if it makes any difference. I don't know if it does, but I just thought I should put that out there.
Okay. No, so far it mostly seems vulnerable to fire. At least from the encounter with the previous one.
Right. Okay. Then I will. Let's see. Jin is still next to me, being held by this thing.
Yeah, it's like he's halfway inside of its mouth, the tongue wrapped around its waist and being slurped into its mouth.
Okay. I'll just use my movement or whatever to just put a hand on his ankle. No action that I can actually do to try to pull you out. At this
There's
point,
2 of
but,
them. There's 2 of them trying to get
All right.
me.
All right, Maddie, that'll finish your turn. Gatharn, you are up.
I'm going to attack him 3 times.
Go for it. Are you raging?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm startled.
I'm startled.
Let's see. 24 for one, 18 for another, and a natural 1 on the other.
The first 2 will hit. The third one will miss.
Okay. Ooh. Pretty sure an axe is 1d6. Yep. So 19 points of damage.
Nice. That was on the first one?
No, that's for both combined.
Gotcha. Okay.
First hit was 10. The second hit was 9.
Your axe is finding meat and bone through the rubbery hide of this creature, doing a good piece of damage to it. It's looking pretty rough at this point. Roselle is up, and then we'll be at the top of the round.
Well, Roselle's gonna basically do the similar thing. Gonna try and help out as a bonus action with Bardic Inspiration. They're going to, well, we'll see that they see that Medi's doing great. So they are going to try and inspire Gatharn.
Nice.
Probably with something very witty and borderline suggestive to say.
Because I haven't had a chance to put my kilt back on. It's just
No,
thrown over my shoulder.
Yeah, it's just like, it's basically just a neck scarf right now.
Gatharn is that a kilt or a cape? And you're now inspired. And then
No, you have 3
cast-
legs.
they'll cast Thunderclap.
Roselle is giving the frog the clap.
Yep.
Yep.
No, she just turns around and starts twerking at it, and the big old goblin cheeks just start.
You know how when you like want to get a dog's attention, you'll be like, "Hey," and you like clap at it.
She's just doing it with her butt cheeks.
She will do that, but it needs to make a Constitution save.
Ooh, Constitution. How dare you?
15.
That is a 16.
So it takes 3 points of thunder damage.
Okay. Anything else that Roselle would like to do?
That is going to be it.
Okay. That'll
Staying
finish.
away, keeping a distance.
Jen, you are currently restrained, being held halfway in the mouth of this creature. You are up, and then the creature is up. You feel the distinct feeling it's attempting to swallow you.
Swallow it first.
Hmm. Can I still move my arms
Mm-hmm.
a little bit?
Yep. Your move is
I will-
0. That's really all the restrain
Yeah.
does to you.
I will cast lightning bolt from inside.
Go for it.
Dex save of 16, which is ridiculous because I'm all up inside you. How are you gonna dodge this lightning strike?
That's all right. I rolled an 8, so you're good on that one.
These used to be my fireball dice, but I've switched sides. Oh,
I'm using
very
my plasma
disrespectful.
dice.
10, 20, 24, 31 points of damage.
You guys watch as the top half of this frog's head just kind of like explodes. The meat and folds of skin collapse around the once restrained form of Jin, the tongue lolling. And as this corpse hits the ground and ichor and blood and guts spray out, new sets of eyes begin to up through the mud. Not as many before. You're getting the feeling you might be on the edge of the pattern of where these creatures might be.
Can I chop off one of its legs?
It'll take some time, but you can try.
I want to give like 2 like hardy strikes to like its 4 legs, like the front legs.
Yeah, the 2 front ones. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll take you some initiative time. It'll cause you to have to hesitate and take a little time to do it. What are the rest of you doing while you watch as Gatharn is hacking away at the legs of this creature?
Do I know if these
fucking
things
it.
are, and do I know if they're intelligent?
Give me a survival check.
Uh, 19.
The fact that they're cannibalistic, because as you're standing here watching as Gatharn is hacking at one of the forelegs, looking over your shoulder, there's at least a dozen that are now feasting on the corpse of the one that you guys just killed. And new sets of eyes are kind of focusing in. You get the feeling they're more like carrion style, opportunistic feeders, ambush predators. You've never really heard of these specific type of creatures before. You get the feeling that they're clever enough to pull off the ambush strike, but that's probably the height of their intelligence. So Gatharn, go ahead and give me athletics, please. See if you can rip one of these legs off. What are the rest of you doing while Gatharn is doing this?
Running.
Okay, Jin, you continue to run. You are no longer blinded. That has concluded for you. You wipe the last of the mucus out of your eyes, and you can blurry, but you can see a lot better now.
23.
Okay, you managed to rip one of the forearms off. It will take more time to get another one.
No, I just want one.
Okay, your axe, and you feel the ball joint kind of come apart. You've got a 3.5 foot long forearm amphibian leg kind of resting on your shoulder, and the naked Gatharn continues to run in the northerly direction. As you guys continue to run in this direction, you get to a point where you realize you're out of this like minefield area of frogs, giving you the moment to take a pause, take a breath, and hesitate. You're a solid 100 feet away from where that occurred, realizing that you've barely been in this jungle for an hour and already it's tried to kill you.
I throw the leg to Roselle. It's like, I've got dinner.
Roselle attempts to catch it. Go ahead and give me a dex save, Omni, for Roselle, as she is not here this weekend.
Dex save is +6.
Nice.
24.
24. She quickly grabs it. It takes her entire strength and weight to keep from toppling over. Ah, thanks. She kind of like, fireman carries the leg around her shoulders, and she starts kind of like pulling at the meat and skin at the serrated bone, and makes a little meatball and kind of plops it in her mouth and kind of gives it that thumbs up.
And I get dressed and put the rest of my gear back on.
Fair enough. What are the
Coil
rest?
the rope back up.
All right.
Yeah, well, now we know what to avoid for that slopping, sucking mud sound.
Yeah,
All
perhaps
thanks
somebody
to you.
should. Perhaps somebody should be up front and be looking out for such things.
I nominate Omni.
I nominate Roselle because Roselle has excellent perception.
I nominate myself.
Oh, even better.
I can't see.
Do you have more than a +9?
Perception? No. Investigation
Oh,
and survival skills.
then yes, by all means,
Jin.
Betty, take lead.
Jin can't see, so just. Can you see this? How about this?
We gotta
This?
keep the cookie safe.
Anything?
It's hard to know what Jin can see because the whimpering is just too loud.
Thought that wore off by now.
Yeah, it did. Jin's just being a drama queen.
Oh.
I grabbed some
Here's a
mud and
thought.
I'm like,
You could try opening your eyes.
I grabbed some mud and started applying it to his eyes. This should cool it down.
Okay.
I think
You now have mud
I
in your
smell
eyes.
it could
Yeah,
be cool.
I'm undead anyway.
It might be poo.
Floor poo? Jungle floor
Floor
poo, for sure.
From the howler monkeys. They're watching the entire time. Climb a tree.
Okay. Go ahead. Acrobatics or athletics, please.
25.
25. You shimmy up the tree. Your head pokes up. Give me a perception check because you're probably looking for that same point that you're trying to reach.
Yep. 5.
Hard to tell. Looking beyond the canopy from this new vantage point, you no longer see what you're looking for. Looking
Is
around,
there a taller tree?
I mean, this tree feels somewhat shorter. than the previous one that
Alright,
you
I
climbed
look.
up.
I look for a taller tree to.
Give
that I
me
can probably
give me a
access.
fresh perception check.
19.
19. Looking about 20, 30 feet in front of you from the tree that you're currently climbed up in, you can see the trunk of this palm tree. Looks like it jets up an additional 8 feet. And as you're looking at it, you watch as a 12-foot diameter spider begins to come down from it and spin on its web and then attach itself to another tree and crawl across and disappear up into the canopy.
Hey, there's giant spiders up here. Just thought you guys should know.
Why? Why? Just why? Does anybody have any opposition to just burning down this entire jungle?
It doesn't look flammable. The air's too moist, right?
I mean, can you burn down a jungle? I don't know until you try.
But
Get-
right now we're in the middle of it.
We definitely
Just
have the
light up the
capability
blade.
to. Let's hold off.
All right, so
now.
that spider climbed away from the palm tree, though, right?
Yeah, it kind of like dropped from some of the fronds and then it kind of swung the web around that it was like dropping on and attached itself to another one, climbed back up into another separate tree.
Okay. As quickly as I can, I scurry down and I go up that other one.
Okay, give me a fresh athletics or acrobatics. While Gatharn is doing this, what are the rest of you doing?
15.
Okay.
Washing the mud out of Jin's eyeballs. Do you want pink eye? Because that's how you're gonna get pink eye.
I don't want pink eye. You just put it in there without asking. You didn't ask for consent first. You just did it.
We're still talking about the mud, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
just checking. Well, working on enough Falcon 9 rockets all day long, Gatharn can get a little confused from time to time.
It's the fumes.
Hank, he's not kidding. So Gatharn is scurrying up another tree. Anybody want to do anything while he's on his way up to check again?
So far we have giant frogs and giant spiders and a T-Rex
A giant turtle.
and a giant turtle. Right.
Yeah,
I forgot
halfway
about
up the
turtle.
tree, naked Gatharn yells down. Did you put your kilt back on?
Yeah, I
Okay,
said I got back dressed
gotcha.
and freaking put the rest of my gear back on.
Gotcha. Making it back up
Sensing
this
a pattern.
making it back up this tree. Looking, give me another fresh perception check. See if you can see from this vantage point.
Oh, yeah, that's a dirty 20.
Yeah. Now, being in the taller tree, you can see you guys have deviated slightly off course. You now need to go more of an east, slightly north direction, get back on course. It does not look like it follows the stream any further. Stream
And then-
completely goes off in a different direction.
Which direction did the spider go?
In kind of the direction that you're currently looking. And with that in mind, you watch as maybe 3 or 4 more of them kind of poke up out of the fronds, and then begin to they're making webbing, and it seems like they're just doing their more spidery behavior that they do. They don't seem to have noticed you guys yet.
Okay. Climb back down.
Okay.
Point in the direction we need to go, and there's big fucking spiders, so we'll need to look out for webbings and stuff, but they're in the direction we need to go. So, Medi, you wanted to take lead, right?
I don't like spiders. A giant can deal with that. Dragon can deal with that. Spiders, too many legs. I don't like it.
Well,
Rizzo
they're
goes.
kind of giant. I mean,
Spider
they're way
legs are a
bigger than me.
delicacy in some places.
ooh, we can mix it with the frog leg and have a nice stew.
Again, I offer you just fire. Just if ever there's an opportunity.
Well, we gotta go that way.
Fire. All right.
We really need to go that way.
You guys could
Where's
hear
that
ground
from?
tremors coming from the opposite direction that you just came from. Pretty far off, but the ground is like.
I just start going the direction that I pointed at.
Are you hacking through
I'll
the
go
undergrowth?
crunch
Because
to look for things.
yeah, because you got to like deviate back off the easier part of the trail and back into the dense undergrowth again.
Yeah, and then at the same time, I'm trying to look for areas where some other creature might have passed through to kind of ease it up. That way,
Okay.
I'm not constantly hacking through.
Give me a survival check, and I'll say with advantage because the group is pretty insistent on helping you at this point.
All right, that is 22.
22. You find some thin, more sparsely areas of the undergrowth where you can hack through a little bit easier. You guys travel this way for about a couple 100 feet or so. You watch as a large jungle asp kind of disappears off into the undergrowth. The sound of the tremors drifts away. Kind of get further away from it. Whatever was making those tremors does not seem to be interested in the lot of you. You spend the next hour or so continuing to go deeper and deeper. Everybody give me fresh perception checks as you're making your way deep into the direction that Gatharn is leading you.
12.
Okay.
22.
Natural 20 for a 21 for me,
Nice.
and a 17 for Zill.
Okay. Medi,
11.
11. What'd you get, Gatharn?
22.
22. So Gatharn and Omni and Roselle, the three of you quickly stop, and the others see you stop. All of you looking off to your right. Something roughly 14 feet, 15 feet in height. Greenish skin with little buboes of pustulations on them, carrying a half-dead palm tree and what looks to be one of those large frog creatures in another hand. Just kind of walks maybe 30 feet right by you guys, turns and goes a little bit deeper into the dense undergrowth. The smell of the troll was just rancid as this creature that seemed troll-like in appearance. Obviously, the density of the canopy keeping the sunlight off of it, or perhaps it's figured out a way to resist the effect of sunlight.
SPF 100. Mud block.
And you just hear its guttural comment as it walks away from you and into the undergrowth. Always getting harder to get these frogs. And then you hear another voice, but no other troll. Yeah, it gets harder, but there's more of us to feed. Then you hear a third voice. I wish you'd stop talking, the lot of you. And then you hear a fourth voice. And there's a brief break in the canopy as this large 5-headed troll dips underneath a section of undergrowth, and then you lose sight of it, and you can just hear the conversation going on.
I'm sorry.
How
but,
far is it from us?
What
It
is the
disappeared
fence?
off to your right by about 30 or 40 feet.
Magic awareness.
Okay. The feeling of the troll goes right out of your bubble of awareness. There's something definitely magical about that creature.
Was it School of Enchantment?
More of like a necrotic nature.
Okay, then I'm not interested.
But what are you guys doing?
Not going that way.
Well, I kind of figured that was the case.
I look directly at Omni and go, and start going through the undergrowth.
Okay. So at this point, none of you have offered up stealth checks. So
I don't know why he's looking at me. I'm one of the stealthiest ones here. So
Yeah, that's what you proved earlier.
Are we
yeah,
being?
if you'd have
Be
followed
really
my,
quiet.
you weren't paying attention, obviously.
If you guys are trying to be stealthy, let me know. Go ahead and make stealth checks. See if you.
Yes.
Because right now I've been rolling really shitty on my perception checks.
Yeah, now I'm doing.
I mean,
I'm
you guys
gonna try and
walked
be a little
right
stealthy.
through 2 encounters I couldn't trigger because I rolled like a 2 and a 3.
I don't think Jin's been stealthy a day in his life.
Jen's been singing lemons and limes the entire time.
Yep.
Lemons and
That is a
limes.
natural 1
Oof.
for 8 for myself.
Okay.
Omni
This
starts
is why I
singing
went.
along. Omni's starting to
And
sing along. He's vibing.
that is
They're vibing.
oh,
They're
shit.
vibing.
That is an 8 as well for Brazil,
21.
but not nat 1. It's a 2.
So
Well,
just
we
you
both-
see how I have this sweet, sweet 20 decks, and you still got a 10.
yeah. Well,
What'd you get, Jen?
Lemons and limes, man.
Oh, he's not being stealthy at all.
I got lemons
The
and
barbarian
limes.
is the stealthiest at the moment with a 21.
So with this, as
So
go
we've been
ahead.
thinking, like, what's the plan after this? You know, we go to the Revels. We're just having
I'm like a
conversation
good
during
Yeah.
the stealth moment.
In front of them.
I know you're like so as you guys
I'm small
Are-
enough that I can fit in the underbrush.
yeah, I mean with conversation and activity going on around you, all of you suddenly come to just a stop as this loud hissing noise is slightly 10 feet above you as this 50-foot long snake is coiled up in the canopy right above you. Its mouth opening up and hissing at you. You could see smaller versions of itself coiling in like a ball on top of its back and up in the canopy. And it's just kind of, it neither seems malicious, but it, you know, a warning sign when you get it. You're way too close to its nest.
I'm not.
Cathar's already taken off.
Let's go ahead and not
I'm
do
bite-sized.
this.
Yeah, you're very bite-sized.
I just go that way, just away.
Okay, you guys just kind of all walk away from it, get away from it. You just hear it hissing, and you watch as the massive snake head just kind of coils up into the canopy. I would
Well, what
say,
about
most of the morning at this point has been burnt by it. From the point of entry and to getting out of this nightmare of a jungle that you're in, the current position that you're in. Gatharn, give me a survival check really quick. We'll see if you can gauge how far from that point that you've seen that you might be from.
that's a dirty 20.
Yeah. It's taken you about 2.5 hours now to travel less than a quarter of a mile at this point. This is rough going. This is thick, dense undergrowth. It's exhausting. And you haven't really taken any short rests yet either at this point.
I really haven't needed to.
Fair enough. What's the plan?
Keep going.
I mean, look, is what we're doing here really worth it? Just figure it out. Float that out here to the group.
Figure it out.
Just,
I mean,
we're
it's
like,
either we
what,
do
3
this
hours in, and we've
or-
seen giant spiders, giant snakes, a 5-headed troll. We've seen signs of a T-Rex. We fought a bunch of frogs.
Well, in my opinion, I believe that if we go back and we don't have the relic, we no longer have a ticket on the ship. I mean, Brazil's fine. They needed a cook, but we'll be fucked.
Yeah, I don't see
That's
it
just my
going
opinion.
our way if we do not.
At least if we
Show
have the
back up.
relic, we've got,
Yeah, some
a
bargaining.
bargaining chip to get back on the boat. Because we're not even proper crew.
Or
What, you don't
liability at
think
this
that we've
point.
made a great first impression?
Well, I mean,
Well, I did.
Gatharn made that other guy a lot of money.
I'm pretty sure the captain's been eyeballing me.
I think you have to compete with Jin for the title of cabin boy, though.
Cabin boy, yeah.
Oh, but he doesn't want to do it willingly.
Oh, quick, he came back from his pee. Okay.
Wait.
So,
Are you saying that
So-
Are you saying that Raleigh prefers a struggle?
She does kind of strike me as a sort.
a little bit, yeah.
He seems.
I'm pretty sure
forceful.
she's a switch.
I don't. What does that even mean?
Well, you'd be a bottom.
So, anyways,
I prefer bottom bunk. You don't have to take so much effort to climb to the top bunk.
As Jin
Point.
is all about the least amount of
Good point.
effort.
Our sweet summer child.
But seriously.
We've got about 3/4 of a mile to go then.
I was born during the winter.
Yeah,
Let's just
you
say-
figure you probably get to that point by nightfall. But you also figure in about 3 or 4 hours, once the sun kind of arcs over and makes its descent down, because you are in the period of the spring period, it's going to get darker down here below the canopy than it's going to, under normal conditions.
So let's
I think
say if
we're all
we have
good
to
with
spend the
exception
night.
of Omni.
as far as like getting hit.
Seeing in the dark.
Oh yeah, well, we can't do that.
All right, there, Omni, your call.
You can't see in the dark, Captain?
No.
I see perfect in the dark. Colors and everything.
Creepy.
Perhaps you
but
should
true.
take point then, Jin.
Sure.
So we could probably get to where I think this relic's going to be at nightfall, but judging by the appearance of that particular section of jungle, I don't think we want to be in there at nightfall. Maybe go
you're
almost
scared?
there and find a spot to camp.
We
Oh
think
no,
that is a
no,
good
no,
idea.
no, no. Jason's already introduced spiders here. I'm not playing this fucking game with this man, okay? This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna camp, and then somebody's gonna be wrapped in a cocoon and not gonna play the rest of
Strung
this
away
game.
at night. Yeah.
Well,
we've
Yeah.
I
done this
mean,
before.
that's in a past life. That's how I found myself in another party. Yeah.
Oh
I
my
was gonna say
god.
that sounds familiar. That's I believe that's happened to each of us in a different life.
Yeah.
Jason's favorite way to introduce a new
me.
character. You come across a cocoon that's starting to wiggle.
Dangling in a tree, and there's somebody spouting hate.
Oh, we found Wolfric.
Start making my
Not
I
that
guess
kind of hate.
continue on.
Wolfric
Yeah.
had
Continue
no
on
hate
in the
in his
direction.
pool.
Let's try and get as much distance covered
So,
while
Yeah,
we
so since
can.
you've been introduced to the jungle, each of you for the next 6 hours can describe for me how you want to help the group get to this point that Gatharn's trying to get to. You can use any skill set, describe it in any way, and then I will have you roll for the assist.
I will use my devil's sight to
Okay.
see perfectly clear for 120 feet.
Okay. Go ahead and give me perception with advantage then, since you're site specific.
Oh, not bad. Dirty 20.
Yeah, there are creatures here that you pick up on, large and small. Some of them even emanating a bit of malicious kind of necrotic energy as your vision kind of picks up on the evil nature of the vapor that's kind of coming off of them. And you help the party steer clear of these things. They do not make sense. They feel hungry to you, and some of them don't feel alive. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I'll use my super dope survival skills and ability to track things to try to help us avoid trails of giant, terrifying creatures.
Fair enough. Go for it.
Okay, survival 17.
17. Kind of getting Jin's vibe about kind of some of the strange creatures here. You come across shambling footprints that don't make a lot of sense. That same sweet smell of decay off of them. You too pick up on the vibe and sense that there's both living and dead creatures amongst this place. There's something wrong with this place. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't necessarily feel purposely wrong. This place feels lost. This place feels like so much, like there's so much here, and it just feeds on itself. And it's just strange, but you use this kind of keen sense, this keen awareness that you and Jin kind of focus on, continuing to help Gatharn steer the party out of harm's way. At one point, the whole party stops. Meta, you stare off into the distance through the undergrowth that is dense, and you feel like you're staring directly at something, and something is staring directly at you. The undergrowth kind of moves a bit, and then you feel the sense of it kind of walk away from that staring competition that you found yourself in without actually seeing anything. This doesn't happen to you often. If you had a distinct sense of goosebumps, maybe this is what they feel like. You're not really sure.
Yeah,
want-
I'm more used to being the hunter and not the hunted.
Who would like to go next?
Omni would like to persuade the forest to let us pass with no.
You guys hear
He's gonna
Omni
use their
going.
mad stealth
You hear
skills.
Omni as they are like, walking along, going, "Please don't eat me. Please don't eat me. I won't eat you. Ooh, that looks like it could eat me. Don't eat me."
Listen, jungle, I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. We don't want to. No. Seeing how Jin is getting like a clear sight of the direction to go, and that's more visual, and Medi's kind of like keeping an eye on the trail as far as avoiding things. Omni is going to keep eyes on the trail to find the quietest path through and like kind of basically create a stealth path for others to follow.
Ooh, I like that. Go for it. Perception or stealth, or what skill are you using for this?
Stealth.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. And it's a 24.
24. With Omni's help, the group is benefiting from their warnings and their keen eye on things that you either almost step on or come across. A swarm of insects kind of burbling out of some undergrowth ferns and steering them away from that as 2.5, 3 inch long ants with massive pincers kind of spread out amongst the undergrowth. This place feeds on everything and steering the party in and out. Gatharn, you get the feeling that as a whole, the group is now making a pretty good clip. You may even have gained an hour on this effort with everybody kind of helping each other. So Roselle and Gatharn, you're the last two. Who wants to go next?
Roselle is going to do a sleight of hand to keep everybody, give everybody a snack, but without like really, getting anyone else to notice, like just keeping everybody nourished by like slipping them, little trail mix or like jerky and just doing like the mom thing where everybody's got snacks. Okay, everybody's taken care of. Good, good, good. Okay, we're going to move forward together. We got this. We got this.
Go ahead and roll.
So it's trying to do it, I guess, subtly, but yeah, I slide a hand for that.
Go for it.
That will be add one to that, 19.
19. Omni, Roselle comes up right alongside you and kind of like just tucks a little small leather bag filled with snacks in it in your hand. Moves from you to Jin, doing the same thing, to Medi, doing the same thing. Although when she gets to you, Medi, she kind of looks at you a little awkwardly and is unsure about the snack.
You get
Not-
some raw frog.
not really sure that you may partake in it, but she kind of leans, kind of close and up into your ear and goes, I don't know if it's your favorite, but just stack on it. You'll find it'll help, I promise. And then
Oh, this is not quite my favorite. It doesn't really have the flavor of the small child. Like, yes, I can eat food.
Roselle looks at you very strangely. Keeps walking.
Why are you bringing up children?
It was a dark joke, dark humor. Come on.
Gatharn, you feel the small bag. So all of you have Roselle's trail snacks. You have a D4 inspiration for the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat my inspirational snacks.
Gatharn, you are the last to go. How are you helping the group get to this destination?
Combining athletics and survival to essentially be more efficient with my cuts through the undergrowth.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll.
Avoiding certain, poisonous plants. That's 26.
Nice.
Because that's a 19.
At one
Plus
point, you watch as this just almost like a common kind of jungle snake drops from a tree and quickly moves across these strange flower plants and fern. And you watch as the plant just and snacks and just grabs the snake, pulling it into the undergrowth. You hear this crunching and serrated noise at the same time. And you're like, and steering the group away from these clearly wild things all about you. As all of you get to the point of the journey, it's now starting to get darker. The sun is fading, but you've made good time. At this point, Medi, there's a stench here that you pick up on. Jin, there's a stench here that you pick up on as well. For the two of you, not that you have any direct understanding of the nature of this, but there's both smell of rot and warren here. Something is entombed nearby. You can smell that kind of holy or unholy energy that places like that kind of give off. It's kind of second nature to the two of you, but in different ways. It presents itself in different ways. But at this point, it's now getting dark. There's something definitely nearby. Gatharn, you begin to realize that some of the area, this dense undergrowth, has thinned out and has like a dry, brittle, blackened kind of feel to it. And you're now looking up at the trees that you remember seeing from far out. They seem drooped and dead and slightly desiccated here. And there's a clear pathway leading deep into this unusually very cold undergrowth.
I think we're close.
It's either we camp out here or we descend further into that scent of death.
Did I notice Jin kind of recognizing the spell?
Give me an insight check.
I was like, I don't know what I add to that, but it's not good. 11.
11. Really hard to tell. I mean, you do have some common understanding of each other to a certain degree. All the others definitely didn't notice it, but there's a faint whisper, a faint hint of some kind of hesitation in Jin's physical presence. But other than that, nothing more obvious than a maybe or a maybe not.
We are going to cast Detect Magic,
Okay, what's the radius on that?
30 feet.
There is absolutely nothing magical here until the bubble kind of hits this cold, desiccated space that the group is staring at, and you just watch as the magic just recoils away from the space, and the magic has no effect here whatsoever. You get no read from this space at all, either positive or negative.
So there's anti-magic. That's interesting. So did my spell just wither away, or just like there's a void of magic in that?
There's a void of
spot?
magic every time you kind of radar over it.
Okay. We definitely
Did
think
I
that we
find any
should
citrus
rest
fruit?
the night.
No, 0 edible fruit so far, Gatharn.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Omni. What'd you say?
I was gonna say I think we should definitely rest for the night. We could use a rest and set up a camp outside, make some dinner.
I
Got some
think
good
that'd be
meat.
wise, Omni.
10 hit points are good for 24 hours, right?
Yes, they are.
I think until your long rest. I think.
DM said 24 hours.
No, I'm good
I
with
mean-
24.
with that.
Yeah, I'm good with 24 hours. I mean, it's
Well,
I usually go off a hero's feast when it comes to temporary hit points, unless I specifically designate it off of something else. And I know hero's feast is a 24-hour temporary hit point juice up, so just easier for me to calculate it that way.
Except the DM nom my hit points away.
Technically, a giant frog did, but I accept partial blame.
It was you. I saw you. You said the words.
So what's the
made it
plan?
I think we're
Inspiration
bunkering
doesn't
down.
stack, right?
Mm,
You are bunkering down.
No, inspiration doesn't stack. You have the D8 from
oh, that would be long gone
Brazil.
now, I think, because it lasts 10
that
minutes.
only lasts 10 minutes, yeah.
Well, no, it was because we got another inspiring meal before we landed on the island. There was also a D4.
Oh, I went through those hit points with that first like 29 points of damage hit. Jeez.
Yeah.
No, not 10 hit points. We got like an inspiring meal because I still have inspiration kind of like marked.
Yes, I believe that was
Oh.
from Raylene's meal, wasn't it? It was either because it was the
Yeah.
meal that
Yeah.
Roselle cooked for Raylene.
Yeah, so we got like a D4 of inspiration for that one as well. So those don't stack though, so it's only one, like a one-off, right?
No, those do not stack. Correct.
Okay. Well, then I'll use my inspiration next time.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty healthy, so I'll take first watch.
I can pick
I'm
up
gonna
the rest
use
of
my
the
survival
watches.
skill to try and forage up some food.
Okay.
We'll cast Create Water.
Well, actually, you don't need to forage food. We've got a 3-foot giant frog leg.
Yeah, we have a frog leg.
And Roselle could easily start working on that if you want to have her do that.
Yes. Omni will cast Create Water to fill everybody's skins.
And the water that you create is not particularly fancy or horrible. It is enough to stave off exhaustion that would have come without a freshwater supply. Roselle begins to roast and fillet and manage the frog meat. Gatharn, you're taking first watch. I mean, you guys still have a little bit. And you guys still have a little bit of time before your long rest would kick in, so you can do some activities.
Setting up like an alarm system.
Okay. How would you like?
I've got string, rope, and chain.
Okay.
So I'm gonna set up a couple snares. And same thing like with the string. Basically, if it snaps, it'll set off like a thing of stones falling.
So go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
I have my modifier to that roll, right?
Correct.
So 16.
Now give me a regular survival check.
20 dirty.
Nice. Now give me a sleight of hand with advantage.
20 dirty.
Okay, you managed to set up at least 3 of your traps. They cover most of the access points that you can find, and you can define how you want those warnings to go off. I've got a DC in mind and a check in mind for anything that comes across it. As far as you can tell, pretty successful at doing that. Anybody else want to do anything before settling into the long rest?
You said it's nighttime right now,
It's
right?
it's getting into nighttime. It's darker here than under normal circumstances because of the way the jungle foliage kind of like darkens the area down below it. It feels like nighttime, but it doesn't feel late yet. You guys are watching as Gatharn is setting up his survival traps in different areas of the encampment.
Omni's probably gonna end up like saying to do things that people are already doing, just out of like force of habit. So like as Gatharn's like going to the perimeter to start setting up the traps, Omni will probably end up being like, "Yes, Gatharn, good job making sure that the alarms are set, the perimeter is secure. Jin, you're going to be able to cover watch for a good portion of the night. Medi, how you feeling? You good? Okay, awesome. Rizzo, how's the food coming?" And just like doing little managerial like check-ins.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna use the pittons, like, cause they're basically climbing spikes, right? You just hammer them into rock. Well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I mean,
incorporate those into the trap. So
Okay.
basically, if they step on it, it's gonna pierce their foot. If they spring the trap, it'll be like a freaking what you call it? Basically like a rod that swings out.
fair enough. Anybody else want to do anything before settling in for this long rest?
Zill's just singing lemons and limes, lemons and limes while they're cooking.
Fair enough. And since
Oh,
Roselle,
Shut
I wish
up.
I had some lemons and limes.
and since Roselle is
Oh, but lemons and
cooking,
limes
before
look
I
so
go,
good.
before I go to Medi, since Roselle is cooking, go ahead and roll a wisdom check, really quick.
A wisdom check.
Yep.
Okay, that's a +3. Give me a d20. Roll it. 18.
18, and give me a performance with advantage, please.
Ooh, they're good at performance. Let's see, they have a +7. I have to keep looking at their sheet and then going back to mine to roll.
Yep.
So the first one is a dirty 20. The second is a 16.
Nice. So she does manage to make another very inspiring meal. When everybody consumes this meal for the evening, you get +2 inspiration. You get +2 to your inspiration rolls.
Yes.
And that does stack with your pre-existing inspiration. And after that trek through that nightmare to get to this point and facing this, whatever this place is, this meal tastes good. It's warm, it's hot with the fresh water. All of this activity staves off the point of exhaustion that you would have taken through this very difficult trek. Medi, what would you like to do?
Because it's starting to be nighttime, and my good friend Rizal over here is singing the Lemons and Lime songs. Is Jin singing along to the Lemons and Lime songs?
Jin, are you? You can hear Roselle singing.
No.
Doesn't seem to be.
We planned out watches, so Gatharn's going to take one, Jin's going to take the second one. Who's on third? Has anybody volunteered? I'll take it.
I don't know. Third base.
Who's on third? Who's on
Okay,
first?
I'll take that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the camp settles in for the long rest. Everybody is tempting to blissfully snore away, but the food was good, the water was good. Gatharn, go ahead and give me a perception check, please.
Omni will stay up with Gatharn for the first bit.
Okay.
23.
23. Omni, go ahead and give me perception.
5.
5. Gatharn, Omni is sitting there with you. Off in the distance, you hear some kind of growling noise, but it doesn't seem to affect the nighttime jungle noise, so this eases your concern a bit. But your watch goes by pretty much unaffected. Omni, are you continuing to stay up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wake up Jin.
Okay. Jen, you are awoken. Omni, where are you, by the way? Are you by one of the fires, or how are you?
Yeah. We
Okay.
can't see well in the dark anyway, so we're just staying close to a fire.
Fair enough. Jen, you are awoken by Gatharn. Gatharn explains nothing particularly nasty has occurred. It is now your turn to go on watch. Go ahead and give me a perception check when you're ready.
And I strip off my kilt and turn it back into a blanket.
Okay.
7.
7. Nothing particular comes up during your watch. Omni still remains awake as far as you can tell. They are over by the fire, kind of keeping to themselves.
Rolled a 15 for perception.
Yeah,
on this
nothing.
one.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, just that normal nighttime, like the occasional howler monkey, the occasional sound of something hunting and something being hunted. But for the most part, this camp seems to be being avoided.
If Omni doesn't make an effort to walk over to Jin, Jin will just practice his footwork and his forms with his rapier or
Okay.
cutlass
Okay.
for the remainder of his watch.
All right. So your time goes by. And Medi is ready for her third watch and the final watch of the night.
So I'll
Right.
just crouch down close to Medi's face.
So creepy.
And how do you go about waking me up?
Oh, I don't need to I don't need to sleep anymore.
And Omni, do you remain up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
You be up in my pockets, not minding your own business.
Were you trying to take some of my spit too?
Jin gets bored and then he just pokes her in the eye a little bit.
All right. Pretty sure I saved your vision earlier. All right? Don't take mine away from me.
Your turn.
Sure thing, Jin or whomever I'm speaking to.
Yeah, there was some flashbacks there.
Well, no, because I think I have a theory that Jin is a different person at night. Anyway, I'll take my watch.
Okay. So Jin, you remain up as well. Omni, you remain up during Medi's watch. The three of you can hear Gatharn and Roselle snoring blissfully. The normal snore of normal people that aren't fucking weird. The three of you are up, so go ahead and give me perception checks.
Oh, that was a journey. 12.
12. Okay.
14.
Okay. Medi?
Also 14.
14. I'll say this much. The three of you often don't synchronize your concerns. Through the snores of Gatharn and Roselle, the fires dim just slightly. The immediate jungle noises around you go away. And the entire encampment is plunged into a deep cold. The three of you get the sense that somebody is watching.
So we'll snuff out the fire. just kick some dirt over it to put the fire out,
Okay.
and I'll wake up Gatharn and Rizzo.
I will try to find who's watching us right now.
Okay. The dense jungle noise is gone. You're putting out the fires at this point.
Yeah, and waking up
Plunging.
Gatharn and Rizzo,
Okay. Pretty much
and
plunging
also going to
the
cast.
entire camp into darkness.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Very cool.
So, could I do a perception check to see if I can spot whoever's trying to find us?
You definitely don't get the feeling that they're trying. They
Or
found
they're-
you.
Just watching.
They found you.
Yeah, can I-
yeah, give
can
me
I
a
put
yeah,
a-
go for it. Give me a perception roll. Gatharn and Roselle, you've both woken up to a cold, dark camp, an unusually cold camp, and some rather concerned looks on Medi, Jin, and Omni.
25.
25.
Well, this
The-
weather's gonna cause some shrinkage.
I just looked at Gatharn and put my finger over my lips and go, shh.
Jin, you feel this cold emanating not more than maybe about 40 feet off to your right, just behind the center tent. There's a coalescent kind of energy there, and a cold, just kind of.
Jin will point towards that presence. What do you want?
No response.
I will lean over to Jin. What are we looking at?
There's a void in the middle tent.
And as you follow Jin's pointing hand, you now see the cold coalescent of energy kind of half in the undergrowth. And there is a sense that it is colder. It is stranger here.
I'll just pull out the rapier and point at it. Okay, so which one of us are you following? All of us? None of us? Just want to hurt somebody.
Still no response. But this garners the others' attention. Gatharn, you can see what they're looking at. Omni, you can now see. Roselle is kind of like half of her arm is around Omni's leg and kind of looking at the strange kind of weirdness of this energy that's just sitting there, kind of.
Have you seen a magic item about yay big?
No response. There is a
Omni-
slight hesitation in its energy after Gatharn addresses it.
Omni
Uh,
would like to try and persuade it to show itself
How are you going to do that?
by telling it to show itself in a very charming, charismatic manner. If you mean us no harm will come to you, but please reveal yourself. And
No.
that
I
would,
don't think
No
he
response?
understands you.
no, okay.
When Gatharn
I
had that
talked to it in
outburst,
Gnomish.
when Gatharn had that outburst, Jin is just gonna glance at Gatharn's direction and say, just loud enough for Medi to hear, "Is the pseudo goblin always so brazen?"
So I don't hear it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I look back at him just.
I shout at the freaking void in Gnomish. Same question. Have you seen a magic item about yay big? And then repeat it again in Orc.
Every time you mention the item, there's a quite distinct brief change in the energy of whatever this thing is. That seems to have gotten its attention. Language may not be the issue or the intent of the conversation. But
I
it's-
use
it's-
magic awareness.
Okay. This is an enchantment magic. You get the feeling that this thing is not sentient, but it's magical in nature. It's been brought.
1 week
It's
since you looked
been.
at me.
It's been brought forth.
I went there too.
I walk up to it. I walk right towards it.
Okay,
Gathar, no, stay.
fair enough. Hey, Initiative League, thanks for the raids. Appreciate it. And the follows. We're giving away condition rings tonight, so be sure to put exclamation rings in the chat to be eligible for the giveaway. Right now, the group is having an interesting conversation with a magical cold entity.
Gathar was just about to walk forward and then he stopped.
No, not just about. I already started walking forward.
Nope, Gathar.
You have to
Gatharn,
follow to catch me.
Gatharn is quickly making his way towards this frost-like emanation.
No. It'll be interesting. Figure out one way or another how this thing feels about us.
Let's just see what happens. All right, I get closer.
Okay, as you get closer, give me a Constitution save, please.
Getting chilly.
22.
There is frost building up on your shoulders.
For once, I don't get naked.
And the
And I like
frost,
take the
yeah,
like
and
you guys are a little chilly over here.
and you immediately feel exhausted as you take a point of exhaustion.
And I feel sleepy.
But the energy
Um,
continues to just coalesce and crackle halfway in the undergrowth, halfway. But you don't feel like you got that much closer to it. You feel physically that you got closer to it. But for the most part, you've just entered into its area that it seems to be affecting, and it's freezing. You now notice that the immediate undergrowth around you, there's ice and frost forming on the undergrowth. And then you're like, whoa, see your breath coalesce in front of you as well.
okay, use magic awareness again because it only lasts like 6 seconds.
Yeah, the nature of the energy has shifted. There's a malicious intent to the energy as you've gotten closer to it. It's a protection.
Misty step away.
Yeah, you recognize that it's shifted into a protective like state as opposed to a more neutral state before you got closer.
So, Gathar, what have we learned?
It gets cold.
How's the shrinkage?
Real bad.
Yertle the
I
turtle.
look like I'm 2 years old again.
Well, proportionate as being a norm half orc, I mean.
I explain. It seems it shifted once I got closer, as if it was becoming more protective. I think it might be sentience and understand intent. I don't think it's a living thing though, because I didn't see anything, right?
It's hard to tell. It just feels like something magical in nature. Definitely not sentient. As you describe it to the rest of the team, those of you that are proficient in Arcana can make an Arcana check.
All right. But you have to tell me if it's about a fey fiend or undead, or else it's an entrapment. Fire roll 27.
This feels like a ward to you, Medi. This is the kind of like the atypical. You get the feeling that you've come into this area and something has triggered this ward-like spell to activate. It feels heavy on the warning sign and less on the intent of, being attacked. But based on Gatharin describing getting closer to it and its nature changing, you get the feeling that whatever destination you're near, this is something that's been placed here to protect it and ward people away from it.
So we were here for a while, though, before this happened. Perhaps something came within its boundaries, its radius, that triggered it off, because we've been here for hours.
Or it may have just been sitting quietly, biding its time.
Waiting to warn us?
No, waiting to protect whatever's lying right beyond it.
We haven't done anything to trigger it, though, have we?
Maybe it's just more apparent now.
About how close did I get to the kind of center before the negative effect kicked in?
You're about within 15 feet of it. It's still there as you guys are having this conversation.
Well, it's not attacking. Should we just build a fire and try and stay warm for the rest of the last little bit of morning? Before the
Is it
sun
kind of
comes
in the
up?
direction of the direction we want to go?
Yeah, directly in your path because you guys have camped just outside of that desiccated, dead-like entry point. And it's if there was a perfect walkway into that place, this place would be this thing would be right in front of it.
If it's not bothering you guys, rest.
It's not so much as not bothering us, it's the fact that it's right in the way we need to go.
And we'll push past it by morning.
I wouldn't advise that.
Well,
I mean, you're more than welcome to. That damn thing narrowly froze my balls off.
Literally.
Literally.
You guys hear
the
two.
cold never
And I'm
bothered me
exhausted.
anyway.
You guys hear two frozen marbles drop to the ground.
Plink, plink. It's like I just woke up, but I am exhausted. Like I could go back to sleep for an entire day.
How much time do I have left in my watch?
Probably have a couple more hours at this point.
All right. I mean, y'all can rest a little bit longer, and I'll just
Did
keep
you
an
tell
eye
us
on
it was a ward?
Yeah. I'll fill y'all on.
I start looking around for disturbances within that 15-foot radius before I get into it. Like I'm looking for someone that might have left a trail.
Give me an investigation check.
Remember your inspiration.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it because freaking investigation is
Intelligence.
an ability check, right?
Yep. And you're exhausted. Point.
I'm exhausted. So that's 8 plus 5 plus, you said investigation, right?
Correct.
2, so 15.
15. Other than the footprints and disturbances of the members of the campment and all the activity that was generated during the setting up of your traps and alarm systems to keep the encampment safe, there are no other obvious signs of disturbance. And that actually triggers you a bit. And you go, there's no signs of any kind that goes into this place. There are no markings of the passing of creatures, or it's almost like looking at two very different places of existence. There are clear signs of small creatures going into the other undergrowth over here, but in this desiccated space, there is no sign of any physical activity.
So Mehdi, how would you get rid of one of these wards?
So, DM, how would I get rid of one of these wards?
I'll say your Arcana check was decent enough because it is a magical ward.
27 was decent. All right.
Actually,
I mean, it's all right.
You do know for the fact that you would have to dispel this thing. That would be the only way to safely get rid of it. But the initial effect that Gatharn suffered from it and its intent tells you it's probably it's a challenging spell for you to dispel, or for anybody to dispel.
Yeah, so this thing's obviously super
I go back to sleep.
magical. And I'm telling you this story, and I think that it will
I'm
take
exhausted.
kind
Like as
of.
soon as you're like, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just rambling on this story, and look down your sleeper. All right. Asked a question, went to sleep while I was talking to him. Rude, but all right. Speaking of sleeping, why are you two awake during my watch?
I don't trust you.
Yeah, Gatharn is literally asleep right at Medi's feet.
Okay.
Omni?
Omni's making a new fire.
Fair
He's like,
enough.
I don't want to be part of this awkward situation.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, but what's your answer? Why are you up?
I just keeping an eye.
All right, whatever.
The let's see, that would be a 23 for deception. So you just believe that.
Or just don't really care. Jin, you're just gonna sit there and stare at me while I stare into the jungle? Gonna go back to sleep? Gonna have some weird stalemate?
So the remainder of the night passes. The first kind of trickle of dawn begins to show up, and the light kind of returns a bit more like in that early morning light that you get. The energy is still there. The desiccated entry point is still there. But with this morning light, there is quite clearly a totem of some part, kind of half leaning into the foliage. It's got a stone base, and it appears to have some kind of effigy on the top of it. With what Gatharn, even though Gatharn, you stay asleep, or are you going to wake up with the light?
No, I'm out cold. Unless
Okay.
someone actually actively wakes me up, I'm
Okay.
out cold.
The rest of you waking up to see this that was probably not perceptible early on, but now you can see it. The dense growth that's dead and the dead trees and the dead palm trees seem to be the demarcation point of where you can see this effigy like totem that's leaning into this space. Now, somewhat further beyond the camp, that same kind of cold nature like energy is still twisting and turning, and the space is still unusually cold. But other than that, nothing else has changed.
Brazil makes breakfast.
What would you guys like to do?
I'll go investigate that totem.
Okay. It's going to bring you about 10 feet within the energy force to be able to do that. But as you walk towards it, it does get colder. The nature of the thing does not quite shift yet to the description that Gatharn had mentioned. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, please.
$23.
23. As you creep a little bit closer to it, the head of the effigy looks to be the bust or the description of somebody. The face is sheared off. You can see writing written in common, but very crudely and poorly written. And as you begin to read it, it says the following: Here lies Copper Joe, forever hidden so that people will never know. The pirate, Captain or Copper Joe, should never be awoken. And then you kind of walk to the other side of the effigy, and there are a skull and crossbones emblazoned on the opposite side of the effigy. And then some more writing. If you choose to retrieve Copper Joe's flag, know that we buried him here for a reason. And then there's like smashed bits of rubble and other kind of debris. And then the flaring energy just dissipates and goes away as the last bit of the morning light comes up. For you, Medi, it makes sense. There was probably a limit to its activation, and it expended that limit. But powerful wards can reset over a period of time. The cold... And the cold is still there, emanating from this desiccated section of the pathway. And that's where we're going to finish, so that when we meet again after Memorial Day weekend, we'll see if you guys go down into the Warren. So for those of you that are still online with us, we're going to give away a set of condition rings. So I want to give everybody a couple minutes to type in exclamation rings. And really quick, I will show you what they look like, so you have an idea of what they are. I love them. I think they are amazing. So there you go right there. So if you type in exclamation rings, that'll make you eligible for the giveaway. Yeah, no kidding. And the, like I said, the one thing I absolutely love about those condition rings, especially, so it's 45 unique conditions for a total of 72 total rings. Some of them are enlarged. Some of them are Hexblade, Faith, Shield. So there's a lot of newer conditions that for some of us storytellers that, you know, when we want that little bit of remembrance in what we're doing, you know, it really helps out a great deal. And just some updates. We will be taking next weekend off, so there will be no game next Sunday, as it is Memorial game for us here. And let me just quickly do the Nightbot selector, and which is now giving me back the feed. Where did you go? Where did you go? And it looks like our winner is it looks like it's Peony Planner is our winner. So if you still are online, go ahead and send me a whisper with your mailing information, and I will try to get that out to you as soon as I can. And if you're not on right now, you've moved on, I will try to reach out to you as well. When we do circle back to our next Sunday game, we will be giving out another set of dice as well. A careless whisper, please. My favorite dice that I love to give away are the macabre dice that Viridian Gaming does. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Sunday nights are, well, you know, Sunday nights, they're unfortunately right before Monday. But like I always like to say, you know, stay safe out there, be kind to each other, and don't forget to play a game. We'll see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.